Will you play my lover to help me make my husband jealous? Oh my god, yes we will. New game, truer than you. You should hear yourself. The only thing you can think of is yourself. Could you for once try to see things my way? Already drama. We hit go and then it was, you know what you guys want, the tea. For once? You don't think I've kept you front and center up until now? I'm trying to tell you that I need you to see me. If you cared, you'd know I have problems too. Problems? I love to have your problems. We're already fighting. Damn, we just started. Really? It must be hard to have everything. Have you ever thought about what it's like to have nothing? Truer than you. What a setup. Who starts a conversation like that? I just sat down. Oh, sorry. Playing again will give you more opportunities. One playthrough will get puzzles. Oh, to see the full picture. Multiple playthroughs to get the full story. Hattori. Truth or dare? Just kidding. I'm Hattori, Rin's boss. You'll get to see Rin very soon. But I figured I should give you some instructions first. To proceed, you click the arrow to the right. Or anywhere on the screen. Wow. So high-tech. You are playing Rin, my latest hire. I'm a lucky man, aren't I? You're the one who makes choices for Rin. Guys, we have to take care of Rin. How chaotic can we get? Maybe you're used to choices showing up like this, and you're obligated to choose one of them. This or this. From here and onwards, this game will work differently. Here, you don't have to make choices. You can keep going instead and see what happens. So if I don't click that, that means that some options might disappear, and others might show up. Pretty straightforward, huh? A choice could be present for a shorter or longer time. It will get more translucent as its time runs out. That's about everything you need to know. Now the rest is up to you. But do remember the goal of our company, to create something better than reality. Rin's apartment. Alright. Okay, so this is where I'll be staying from now on. The apartment's alright, nothing special, but I don't need much anyway. Everything I need is in my own head, sort of. I can't believe I'm finally here. In the city I've heard so much about, but only seen in pictures. At least I can experience it for myself now. And this new job could probably be lucrative. If I do it well, that is. The introduction earlier was a little strange, but maybe that's to be expected? Earlier the same day. The Truer Than You office. Welcome to Truer Than You. Thanks. You know what we're trying to create here, right? Something better than reality. Something better than reality. That's perfectly right. We know we can make people's lives much better by offering them what they really want. And that's where you come in. How does it work? Once you've installed the TrueNet app, you'll start getting assignments to your phone. The info you'll need will be in the description, and if not, you'll meet the client for an introduction. It's not very complicated. When you're in an actual situation with clients, you just have to do your best to fill the role and their expectations. In the beginning, the assignments might feel a little random as the system learns about you. Behind the scene is an adaptive AI system that will come to know which assignments suit you the best. Wow. So I'd have to trust the system to choose the right offers for me? That's rather challenging for someone with trust issues. I'd have to see it as therapy. That's also why we collect data such as ratings from the clients. But don't be discouraged if they are low sometimes. We know this is hard. We'll give you the time you need to get used to it, as long as you follow the code of conduct. Where do I find it? As soon as you've activated the app, you'll have it right there. Every week you'll get a message from us telling you how you did the past week. And then in a month's time, we'll call you here to conduct the monthly review. At that meeting, we'll follow up on everything. In the meantime, we'll make sure to stay in touch through the app. Any questions? Will I get any training? That's a really good question. It's my first day. Have you ever heard of how journalists want their interviewees when they're doing in-depth portraits? Unprepared! Great. Enhance life. This is exactly what we're doing. Just a Black Mirror episode. By that I mean, we believe you'd do better if you go with the flow. Are you sure? Trust me. I already know you'll be amazing at this. Okay, thanks. I don't know why I don't trust him. As strange as it might seem, I just have to dive straight into it. By the way, maybe I should call Mom and tell her I'm here. I mean, I'd even started a new job today. Hi Mom, just wanted to let you know I've arrived okay. Oh, I'm glad to hear. Did you get seasick? I haven't been seasick in ages. I got a little worried, you know. I've been praying for you. Well, you don't need to do that. I'm fine. Don't be silly. Of course I'll... Damn it, why can't it ever work? Now I didn't get to hear if they are alright. At least they know I'm here now. Oh, a message. I should check my phone. It was nice of my new boss to write to me. I kind of like Hattori. He seems to be tongue-in-cheek. And it's the first time I've been praised for being androgynous. Keep it coming, will you? Now I hope the system works well so that I'll get offers that actually suit me. Otherwise, this might get hard. Okay, we have an offer from Linda. Be my date at a gathering with my friends on Midsummer's Eve. Linda? Linda is 29. She's a curator. Requested age 25 to 35. Any gender. Gotta be a date. That seems like an easy enough job. I'm Linda, and I'm one of the few singles left in my circle of friends. For Midsummer's Eve, I've invited some friends to a cottage. We will perform a ritual where you put 7 flowers under your pillow to envision the love of your life in a dream. I've decided I'm going to dream about a handsome stranger who will then turn up in my life on the following day, surprising all of my friends. Will you play that stranger? Like a date or like a date? I think this is like a date. Confirm. You're taking up Linda's offer. Linda wants to see you at the office to discuss the details. Meet her there on a date and time that suits you both. Okay. That sounds interesting. A handsome stranger. I guess I could do that. And I'll get to go to the office again. If I'm lucky, I'll see someone else who works there. Wait, was that another message? I must be quite popular. Now, I'd better get to bed so I'll be ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Let's put the light out. Oh, that's dark. Maybe I should have brought a plushie. Next morning. Lexi, how are you doing? Missed here, am I late? We just started the game, you haven't missed much. We gonna smooch? I want to smooch on our date. How do people just have access to cottages? Yeah, once you find the answer to that, just let me know too. I'd like to know. I woke up early. I hadn't gotten enough sleep. There were lingering memories of having woken up in shock from some kind of distressing dream. Getting up almost felt like a relief, and now I at least had a job. I hoped the app would deliver all the messages. It would require a steady internet connection, and I was pretty sure I wouldn't have that. But what I had would have to suffice. Alright. After having some tea and getting dressed, I checked my phone. There were 2 possible assignments for today. What should we do? Who's Vince? Wait. Is TrueNet. Vince. Who's Vince? Offer from Vince. Oh, we can go with Vince or Linda. Vince has no profile picture? Age or occupation? Help us by playing a part in a short video. I'm Vince, and I'm looking for someone to play a part in a video for a nonprofit organization. It's a very short performance. Let us know if you're interested. Are we interested? You're taking up Vince's offer. You will meet with a representative from the organization at a secret central location. Vince will send you a message through the app revealing the address. A video? Huh? I mean, I don't know. Okay. We have messages, too. Our sincerest welcome. We're happy to have you on the team. Starting soon, your work offers will show up in the Assignments tab in the app. Check your assignments often. If you wait too long, an offer might expire or someone else might get the gig. Best of luck, and remember that together, we make reality a better place. Hi, Rin. Thanks for a great meeting earlier today. I have high hopes for you. I'm sure you will be able to take on many different roles. We'll start sending offers your way very soon. Remember to once again review the code of conduct and don't hesitate to contact me with any questions. Good luck. I trust you to make wise decisions. Do I have the code of conduct? I do. Let's get the rules. 1. Having relationships with clients outside of work is prohibited. Are we gonna pretend we just didn't read that one? Intimate or otherwise inappropriate encounters will lead to a warning or an immediate termination of your contract. 2, you are allowed to speak about the company with clients and known coworkers. Only allowed to speak with our clients, okay. 3, if you are exposed as an actor during an assignment, you immediately have to report this to your supervisor. Take care during work. No adult encounters. Fun. No fun, please. Terrible. So no relationships. I hope we don't break that rule.
When there's no cops around, anything's legal.
I agree. Okay. Who do we go with? We can do Vince and do a video that he didn't really tell us much more about. Or Linda and be her date for her event. They could both be unsafe. I mean, they could very much be. They could both be unsafe for sure. The hookup is a tax write-off. You know, could be. We can make it work. So what I would need to do today was to meet with Linda and discuss the setup for the assignment. I felt good about being able to talk to her beforehand, especially since this was my first assignment ever. I better get ready to go. The Truer Than You office. The office was quite large, but empty. I would surely have liked to see some other employees. It seemed like such a waste of space with no one here. Maybe it was there for the sake of appearance, just as everything else at this company. I still like the place, though. Why are there no other employees? That's kind of sketchy, right? Unless everyone's just working from home. I don't know. But now it was time to focus on the task at hand. There was someone sitting on a bench on the other side of the room. Maybe that would be Linda. Linda? She stood up. Oh, hi, are you Rin? Indeed. Let's sit down over here. We walked over to a table in the center of the room, and I offered her coffee, which she declined. As we sat down, I noticed she was studying my face carefully. I wondered what she was thinking. I was hoping to make a good impression. Yeah? I think I do rather like you. Linda, we just met. She asked for a date, and we're not about to half-ass it, so we should just start a real relationship. We whole-ass things here. Yeah. All the sus. I don't know, something about this doesn't seem right. You'll probably fit well with my gang. That's good, and I can take on any style you'd like for the meeting. It's all up to you. I see. Sorry if I'm a bit... Well, I've never done this before. I could have said me neither. She wasn't the only one, that's for sure. But I better not tell her about that. That's totally fine, but I need to know some things to be able to play the part to my best ability. Sure, ask away. Tell me about your dream person. I'd better verbalize that now, right? It makes it easier for me, at least. Yeah, of course. Well, to be honest, I would want that person to be good-looking and cool. I mean, that's basically us. Okay, fair. And the personality? My friends are a bunch of cocky idiots. I need that person to be able to speak up against them. Okay, I'll do my best. And then be sweet to me. I get it. Tell me about the plans. Then what exactly are the plans for Midsummer? Me and my friends will arrive at the cottage on the day before Midsummer's Eve. That's when we'll pick flowers and put under our pillows. Yeah, that. Is that an old custom? I don't know, I guess so. I've heard of it ever since I was a child, and always wanted to try it, but I never did. Then it's great that you'll get the chance now. Exactly. Alright, continue. Then the next day, we're planning to have a dinner with traditional dishes. What are those? Linda looked at me as if I were some strange kind of animal. Sorry, Linda. You know, pickled herring, potatoes, fish cakes, and lots of drinks. Right. Before dinner, we'll go to the beach and watch the bonfire, and that's where we'll meet you. Sounds good. Then I'm planning to bring you back with us to join the dinner, where you will be my date. Is there anything else you'd like to know? Yeah, there were some practical things. What do you want me to be called? Let's go with Kelly. Kelly it is. I'll see you on Midsummer's Eve then. Yeah, let's do our best. Alright, we are Kelly now. Be great at pretending to be a date, and then we'll make it a real thing, you know? Ridiculously good looking. I mean, I think we're her type. I walked back home. Didn't that go pretty well? Chance be, this wouldn't be as hard as I thought. The city was bright with color and there was warmth in the air. Maybe this kind of life could be pretty nice after all. At the beach. Love a fake dating romance. Me too. Rin, this could be a cult. It could be. They have special dinner and rituals. It could very well be not as innocent as we're thinking. I'd taken the bus and then walked the last bit. The view was truly spectacular. I didn't know you could find that kind of scenery this close to the city. Most probably only rich people had houses here. Linda told me she'd gotten that cottage to get away from the city at times, but in the end she rarely went there. What a waste. On the small beach, groups of people were scattered around, but I couldn't see Linda and her friends anywhere. On the other hand, I was early, so I presumed they would show up soon. So I waited. And waited. Oh no. And waited. Where were they? And more importantly, what should I do? Keep waiting? I guess I'll hang around until they show up. Oh, thank goodness. Imagine if we left. Yet an hour? Yet another hour had passed when I finally saw Linda and a couple of others leaving the cottage. They headed right toward me. As they came closer, Linda averted her gaze, pretending not to see me. Instead, her friend turned to me. Is it okay if we sit here? Feel free. They put blankets on the ground and took champagne and glasses out of a basket. Drinking alcohol was what they meant by having a picnic? The girl that had spoken to me pulled out a box of strawberries. I tried not to think too much about how everything would play out. Just stay present in the moment, I said to myself. Stay present and see what happens. That sounded like something my mom would say. Suddenly, I noticed Linda's look on my face. What? Oh, look, like she looked at us. Wow, you there. You look exactly like the person I dreamt about last night. I looked back at her, hopefully it was something like genuine surprise upon my face. Time to play my cards. I do. For sure you do. Sometimes you've got to believe in a little magic, huh? I guess so. What more exactly did you dream about? She looked thoughtful. I dreamt about this market with a lot of stalls and things to eat. You and I were there together. We bought dango, and I remember thinking in my dream that the dango looked yummy and that I'd rather have you. That's rather bold. Sounds like a great dream. It was. Are you here all by yourself? Would you like to sit with us? Sure. The girl who talked to me before looked at me again. What's your name? It's Kelly. Cool, I'm Bella. She pointed to the guy next to her. And this is Sylvester, my boyfriend. Well, he was surely good looking. Hi, Kelly. Nice to meet you, Sylvester. It's my pleasure, dream person. I'm real, though. Bella looked at Sylvester and a hint of annoyance flicked over her face, then she quickly cheered up. Linda told me earlier about that dream. Isn't it amazing that the two of you met here? Linda's face tinted towards red. What do you say, Felicity? That was the last person in the group. I think it seems like a fated meeting. Felicity's voice was so soft and mellow it made me think I could listen to it for hours. She certainly did look like a celebrity. Perhaps she even was. Was I making a fool of myself for not recognizing any of these people? Either way, they seemed friendly. I guess it's stupid of me to say that Felicity is the most beautiful when Linda's the one who's dreamt of you. And Felicity already has a date for tonight anyway. Linda started laughing. Why does this friend group seem weird? No respect, rude. That's what I meant when I said I have a picnic just to drink alcohol on a blanket. That is a picnic. Sorry about this. We're actually quite hungover, but we're not backing down. We're going to have a dinner party tonight. Would you like to join us? Now I need to think about how someone who met this bunch right now out of the blue would react to that. Would it be just us? Felicity's partner might join too. So with me and Linda, we'd all be couples. I started to understand why she'd contacted the company. Okay then, I'll join you. Yay! Then maybe later I can tell you more about my dream. I came with them to the cottage where they, with renewed energy, started to prepare dinner. Linda and Bella had picked a lot of flowers and Linda sat down to make a head wreath. For dinner, we were going to have pickled herring with potatoes, fish cakes, and sauce. And snaps. What's snaps? It's a spicy liquor drink taken as a shot. After you've sung a song. We'll teach you. Aha. After a while, a man turned up who had to be Felicity's partner. She went up to him and gave him a kiss. Unsurprisingly, he looked rather wealthy, but also a bit like a yakuza. You know? It's a vibe. You came in perfect time, honey. We're just done. You can help bring the food out to the porch. The flower wreath and singing. I mean, I've seen Midsummer. I've seen this movie before. Unsure. Don't follow people into their weird cottage without telling a friend where you are. I mean, thankfully, I hope our boss knows where we are. Because we're on the job. But I feel a little unsafe. We all helped. As I put down the potato pot, the new guy looked at me. New guy. I haven't seen your pretty face before. Who are you? Okay, new guy. Back up. In that moment, Linda came out. That's Kelly. I invited them over after we met on the beach earlier today. Aha, cool. I'm Mau Mau. Then we sat down and paid our respects to Midsummer's Eve by drinking a lot of snaps and singing songs. Cheers! Bottoms up! Mau Mau had quickly become the center of attention, and it seemed to make others tense up.
Nope.
Well, gotta go. Exactly. Let me leave. Look me in the eyes and tell me you believe Hattori is gonna save us. You know what? I don't. I really don't believe that. We're just gonna be missing organs after all of this. Mama, Mau Mau behind you. So what do you do then, Kelly? Are you in the art business just as Linda? Yeah, maybe? Oh, I don't want to say that. They don't know each other, they just met at the beach over there, as she already said. I'm a gig worker. But then, does that reveal what I do? I'm not allowed to talk about my job. Why would they be in the same business? I'm doing a PhD. I'm doing a PhD on the subject of fermentation. My strategy for lying was to be super specific to make the questioner ask more. Hopefully their lack of knowledge would make their follow-up questions simple. Oh wow, what can you tell me about fermentation? I'm doing research on what yeast for winemaking will be the most effective in hotter temperatures. Linda sent an admiring look my way. Cool, I know a few people who'd be interested in that, even some who might want to invest. Ah, thank you, Mau Mau. It's still early days, but I'll be sure to get back to you when we've gotten a bit further. Do it, but now I got thirsty. I'll go and get a bottle. Now haven't we been sitting down enough? Let's put on some music. She rose up and headed toward the door. Phew, this conversation has been quite tiring. As she passed me by, Linda put out her hand. Come on, let's go and dance. I took her hand and stood up. In the end, she was the one I was here for. We went inside, Linda put on music and we started dancing. I wasn't in the mood, but I had to pretend I was. Then Sylvester approached us. He was drinking from a bottle of beer. That loudmouth annoys me to death. What does Felicity even see in him? He's hot? He's not. He's rich then? Aren't you doing business with him, by the way? Well, I am, and that's quite enough, thank you. Linda looked around. If you've got energy to spare, maybe you should target your attention toward Bella instead. Where is she anyway? Sylvester looked gloomy, but left to look for her. At least that's what I presumed. Linda took my hand. I'm so happy you're here. She seemed to genuinely mean it. I'm happy too. She took my hand and held it gently. Then she got a mischievous look on her face. Let's go out. Just the two of us this time. Are we gonna get murdered? She led me out. We stepped down from the porch and went toward the beach. The sea was dark and calm. I could smell the remains of the bonfire. Most of the people had left now. Linda put an arm behind my back as we stood there in silence. This turned out very well. You think? She drew me a bit closer. Yeah. I also think I like you. Linda! That cliff is so pretty, huh? Do I say oh? I don't want to offend her. Now she turned and faced me. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. No, I mean for real. Ah. How would I answer that? Do we say sorry, it's against company policy, or do we smooch her? I like you too. I probably shouldn't take this any further. Send it. I like you too. I wanted to make her happy, just as she'd asked me to. You're beautiful. Rin! Rin, I didn't tell you to say that! You're beautiful. She came even closer. I read the code of conduct. Then she pulled me toward her and kissed me. Oop. The gasp I just gasped. Well, F the code of conduct? She gently touched my neck and her hand brushed through my hair. Her tongue was swift. Swift? Wet. Then she let go of my lips. I could get used to this, you know? She looked me in the eye. Don't worry, I know it's not gonna happen. But it's a nice dream, isn't it? Let's go inside. As we came back inside, we headed for the provisional dance floor. Mau Mau passed us, holding up a round mirror like a tray. Would you like a line? Mau Mau, get out of here! Why are we here? We should have just gone to film that video with Victor. Oh no. Sir, say no to drugs, kids. Linda nodded eagerly. For me, it would be a first, and part of me was intrigued, but I had to keep myself in check, so I shook my head. Before Linda followed Mau Mau into another room, she turned to me. I'll be back. Don't leave just yet. It was getting late and Linda hadn't come back. I went to get a glass of water. On the way to the kitchen, I passed Sylvester. He put his hand out and stopped me by grabbing my arm. It didn't hurt, but it surprised me. Kelly! He said my name and then nothing more. Yeah? So, Linda dreamt about you, huh? She claimed she did, yeah. He held my gaze. For a long while. Then he took a step forward, suddenly standing very close. What is happening at this party? Then what if I said I dreamt about you last night too? Sylvester. Bryn, pack it up. Go home. What do we do? Then would you go on a date with me as well? I stared at him and he started smiling. I mean, you better take responsibility for everyone who dreamt about you. Or is it a first come, first served thing? But you didn't. Sylvester. His smile became a grin. Of course I did. Just as much as her anyway. She's putting on a show. So, you say? What do you think? Why do you think that? She's desperate to meet someone. She can't understand why nothing ever works for her. I find it really funny. Sylvester, I thought I was gonna like you, but here we are. But if you'd like to give it a go, you're most welcome. I think you'll find out pretty soon that no one is good enough for her. Thanks for the information. This crowd is a weird one, I can tell you that much. You didn't have to tell us, we knew. Oh, how I longed to say thanks for the information one more time. Somehow I managed to keep my mouth shut. Sylvester took a card out of his pocket and gave it to me. In any case, here's where you can find me. You mean if I need your advice on matters of the heart? He actually shut up for at least a second. Yeah, exactly. Phew, what a night. Maybe it was time to end this and go back to the city? Surely I must have fulfilled the expectations for tonight. As Sylvester left the room, I opened the app and texted Linda, thanking her for entrusting me this assignment. I waited for the cab outside. It had become chilly. The sun was on its way up. In a few hours, there would be a new summer day. Midsummer's Day. I'd be alone again. So what should I think of this night? How did I do? I was at least sure of one thing. I did not expect to get so thoroughly hit on. Linda's rating, she gave us a 5! 5 out of 5! Thanks, Linda! Wednesday. Alright, I mean, for our first gig, 5 out of 5 stars? I mean, we did smooch her, so I would have been sad if she didn't give us a 5. Hell yeah, well, yeah, we're a good kisser. Therapy, all of them. Okay, alone in my room, I had a hard time believing what I'd been through. At times it felt as if this, my new reality, were some kind of strange dream that I'd eventually wake from. But checking the app made it pretty damn clear that this wasn't a dream. What would you like to become when you grow up? Grown-ups always ask that. Killing time back at home, I dreamt of making an impression on people and on the world. I had no desire to do that anymore. Trying to make others achieve their dreams and goals was what I should settle for instead. I guess it could be rewarding at times. Still, I hadn't fully recovered fully from the Midsummer's Eve happenings. So much had happened in one day that I didn't even seem to remember it all too well. Maybe it was the stress from being constantly on edge that made my mind fuzzy. I needed to recharge. Oh, a new offer? That reminded me, I needed to decide what to do today. Okay, so we can go to Vince and do the video, but we also have Emerald. Will you play my lover to help me make my husband jealous? This is Emerald. She's 48. Occupation fundraiser. Looking for 25 to 35 male. Will you play my lover to help me make my husband jealous? Oh my god. Yes, we will. I'm Emerald, and I have a delicate matter on my hands. My husband is a flirt, and I suspect he's having one or several affairs. I want him to start paying attention to me again, so I need someone to play my young love interest to make him feel like the right amount of jealousy to start caring about me again. Are you the one who will help me out? I love it. Say less. All the smooches. Dare I say MILF? Okay. Let's do that. You'll meet Emerald at a restaurant. Make sure to dress well. Alright, let's go to Emerald. Always a fantastic idea to do stuff like that. Yep, let's go. Run. This time, my assignment was to make someone's husband jealous. Easy as pie. In the offer, I was told to dress well, so I'd better put on some presentable clothes, provided that I actually had any. The restaurant looked like a mix between a bar and a club. I could sense that it was quite the pricey place. As soon as I stepped in, a waiter came and showed me to a table where Emerald was waiting. Her back was crouching a little, but as I got seated, she lightened up. Oh, so you're Rin. You're adorable. I didn't think I'd get someone so cute. Thanks, I think. Now I'm looking forward to having dinner with you even more. I nodded and grabbed the menu to have something to focus on. Emerald lowered her voice. You know the deal. We're trying to get my husband jealous. I know. That's why I've chosen this place. It's rather likely that we'll bump into someone who knows me and my husband here. Hopefully that will start some rumors. I see. Should we order something to eat then? Absolutely, but more importantly, let's get drinks. What would you like? Kava? Guess I'll have a glass of kava. Champagne? Sure, I'll choose a good one for you. Naturally, she asked for a really expensive bottle. So this was what it was like to have a sugar mommy? Get expensive champagne? Stu always used to treat me to this kind of fancy restaurant before he got tired of me. Her face dropped. Oops. What should we eat? Would you recommend anything? She looked a little happier again and picked something for us both to share. That will be romantic. As she'd said, it didn't take long until someone she knew passed our table. Oh, Emerald, how nice to meet you. Hi there, Harvey, long time no see. Is this your friend? My friend, Taiga. So that was my name now? Nice to meet you, Taiga. Where's Stu tonight then? Stuck at the office as usual? He's a real workaholic, that man. I know, he's unsalvageable. Now he's got that coach he's always talking about. Seems like he's gotten some truly interesting advice. Emerald looked puzzled, but found herself quickly. Yeah, that coach is surely great. Well, I'll be going now. Give my regards to the old geezer. As he left, Emerald gave me a stiff smile. He's not that old. Let me order something to drink. It was like magic. As soon as I emptied my glass, a waiter filled it up. I needed to be careful not to get too drunk. On the other hand, when did I have the chance to get treated like this? Should I go where this road would take me? We were both getting whimsical. The alcohol had gotten straight to my head. There are 3 kinds of liquor in this drink. Still, you can't taste it at all. Dangerous. This is gonna end so chaotically. Her words came out blurred. About that coach, Stu's mentioned it. It's an advisor he found through a think tank or something. I didn't pay it no mind. But what if it's a woman and... Don't think about that now. Shh. Why don't we go dancing? There should be some clubs in this area, right? Emerald brightened up. A club? I haven't been to one in years, but, you know, I'm too old. No one cares about that. Let's go. I didn't realize how drunk I was until I tried to get up from my chair and almost fell to the floor. Emerald laughed hysterically as we stumbled out of the restaurant. Swaying from one side of the curb to the other, we tried to find a club. Look out for metal doors. Clubs always have metal doors. I've seen it in movies. I hate to break this to you, but you're way too drunk. I stopped to a halt and she tumbled into my arms. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that extra champagne. Aren't we, like, working? This is the job. I guess, yeah, this is the job. The job is to make her husband jealous, even though no one's watching us right now. Then so are you. I'll call a taxi. We'll have it drop you off at your place first. I couldn't really object to that plan. As we waited for the cab, Emerald was giggling to herself. What's so funny? Everything. I haven't laughed this much in a long time. Good, I think. I'm not sure I did my part, though. Oh yeah, you did. She took my hand. I was starting to feel sick. You sure did. Oh. The ride home was a struggle. A what? A struggle, you say? As soon as I got out of the taxi, I threw up on the street. You win some, you lose some, I thought to myself. Emerald had seemed happy, at least. Emerald gave us a 3! No. Philip, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. The struggle says what? Rin, you gotta learn how to hold your liquor. Maybe if I didn't drink and get wasted, we could have gotten a 5. I don't know. Struggle bus, my kind of ride. I spent most of the day after the last assignment in bed. Good. Luckily, I could decide for myself which days to work and not. The perks of being a gig worker, huh? Even though I was pretty satisfied with how the night with Emerald had turned out, I was still exhausted. But I supposed I shouldn't let that faze me. At least I'd better decide what to do today. Okay, I think... yeah, no new notifications. We have to go to Vince now. Okay. I contacted Vince and been given an address that led to a metal door on the back of an industrial building. I don't like it. Next to it was a waste incineration plant and a huge storage facility owned by a sex toy company. Love this for us! I had to admit I was feeling pretty nervous. Not that this assignment seemed especially hard. I knocked the door, but nothing happened. Perhaps the sound didn't pass through. Then I pushed the handle. It was open. With my eyes calibrated to the sunshine outside, everything went dark as the door closed behind me. I came into a big hall. Further in, I could see something moving. It turned out to be a young woman sweeping the floor. My eyes had gotten used to the faint light, and as she raised her head, I noticed that something was off with one of her eyes. Hi there, I bet you're Rin. Yeah, I'm here for the assignment. Are you Vince? She laughed. Not really, but you can call me Vince if you want to. What's your task here? The corner of her lips turned slightly upwards. You like asking questions? I am so uncertain what's happening. This is video guy. Kidneys, does Rin still have them after this assignment? Stay tuned. Might be a good trade at times. My task here is to shoot a video with you. I'm just cleaning up a little before. I see. We'll record it here. She pointed to a chair in front of which a camera was rigged. It's important for our organization that the person in the video stays anonymous, so you'll be masked. Will be what? Record what? Rin, hold on to your kidneys. No problem. She handed me a paper. Is your memory any good? I'd say it is. Good, then study these lines. They're what you're going to say in the video. You better run, Rin! Okay, cool. I carefully read the note. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Who cares, right? Well, it's time to start fretting. You who thought you'd always go free, you who own the companies, the capital, the production, you who enable the poisoning, the deforestation, the obliteration, you won't get away, we are coming for you. Is the organization the Mafia? Good question. Alright, we've memorized our lines. I'm done. I looked back up at her. What would it mean to be a part of this? Questions were probably unwanted. If it meant to keep my job, I'd better stay quiet. But I bit my tongue. I really, really needed the money. Let's do this then. She handed me a face mask. Put this on. There's a mirror over there if you need it. And put the hood on your sweater up too. Alright. We'll change your eye color while editing, so you know. Vince pointed to the chair. Sit down when you're ready. Do you remember the lines? Maybe. I do. I went over to the chair and sat down. I want you to look into the camera all the time. No looking down. She started putting on lights. As she came closer, I could feel a scent of vanilla mixed with a hint of sweat. Was she nervous? It didn't seem that way. I'll just tuck your hair in. I closed my eyes as she hid my bangs under the hood. Then she stroked my cheek very swiftly. You'll be fine. She went back to the camera. I'll put this on now and then you go whenever you're ready. Okay. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I hoped I was doing it right. That's how it goes. That's how it goes for you. That wasn't right. You who thought you'd always go free. Would I get this right? You who owns the companies, the capital, the production. It was hard not to stumble upon words. You who enable the obliteration, the genocide, the extinction. I don't think that one's it. The poisoning, the deforestation, the obliteration. You won't get away. We are coming for you. I paused and stared into the camera. Vince turned it off and smiled. You made one mistake, but it wasn't super important, so we'll keep it as it is. Thanks, I'm glad. I'd visited a filthy bathroom in a corridor and now was back in the main hall. Vince was taking the camera and lights down. She looked at me with a gaze I couldn't interpret. I have to admit, I didn't expect someone like you to show up for this thing. Someone like me? Yeah, maybe we could use you for more stuff, I don't know. Well, now you know where to find someone like me. Sure, but going through the app is unnecessary if we're already acquainted, isn't it? Are we acquainted? I don't know you. I thought it was important that neither of us knew who the other really were. We don't have to take it further than exchanging phone numbers, do we? Should I give it to her? Maybe. Luthester, good morning to you. What bizarreness is this? This is truer than you. We're on the job. We take different gigs and just do what people tell us to. Against better knowledge, I gave her my number. And she gave me hers. As I put it into my contact list, she caught my gaze. By the way, I'm getting tired of being called Vince. Let's go with Ariel instead. And you'll be Leia. The Little Mermaid and her royalness? Sure. I'll get in touch if we need someone like you. She hesitated a little. And then if you're ever in need of anything, just reach out. All right. I'm not entirely certain what we did there. Filthy bathroom. That's a big F the shit I'm out for me. A nasty bathroom, yeah. As I left the building, questions were buzzing around like flies in my head. The assignment was done, wasn't it? So why did she want to stay in touch? Would they want to use me for something else? And what would that be then? I wanted to turn my brain off. Unfortunately, I wasn't any good at that. Hopefully the exhaustion would at least help me get some sleep tonight. I hurried through the city and got safely back home. Ariel gave us a 3 out of 5. I messed up that one line. End of the week. Still in bed, I picked up my phone. I hadn't gotten much sleep. The events in the industrial building kept bugging me. I for sure hadn't expected the assignments to be like that. To add to the stress, I'd gotten a text message from Ariel. She'd asked me if I could drive her somewhere. It would take a few hours maximum. I wasn't sure I was ready to meet her again, but I'd better get up and face reality. No worries, huh? We can help Ariel. Man, our rating's a 3.7. I'm more down for Ariel than I am for any of our real dates. Okay, let's go help Ariel. No, many worries, actually. There I was again, at the same industrial building as last time. As I approached it, I saw Ariel standing next to someone. She had to be one of the tallest women I'd ever seen. It wasn't just because Ariel was short. This woman's body stood out as large and powerful, and it made me think that she was someone you'd want to have on your side, not against you. She reminded me of a panther. A panther. Ariel walked up to me and the other woman stood back. Ariel's eyes glistened as she greeted me. It's great that you could make it. Indira was supposed to drive, but something came up. Indira was the panther's name? That suited her. Her eyes stung me. Could she read my thoughts? I looked down to not get stuck in her gaze. Then I sensed Ariel's scent, like a waft of bourbon vanilla. Sweet, innocent, childlike. Wow, how stupid. This girl was far from innocent. Let's go then. She started walking and I tagged along. On the yard outside of the building, an old grayish-blue van was parked. The area above the wheels was red from rust and the metal was starting to corrode. That thing couldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence as environmentally friendly. Here you go. She handed me the key and I unlocked the car. The driver's seat was huge. There was even room for another person in between the two of us. Now I had to get this bastard out on the streets. I didn't want my uncertainty to show. I'm not very good at finding my way in the city, so you'll have to give me directions. Oh yeah? I'm kind of bad at it too. But I'll try my best. There's always the GPS. Sure, but we're not using that. What? Right. Then it was all on her. Suddenly, she called out, "Turn left here!" It was pure luck that no one was behind us as I turned on impulse. For F's sake, you have to tell me these things in advance. Ariel turned to me. You're kinda cute when you lose your temper. That doesn't happen too often, right? Well, there could be a storm inside me and you'd probably never know. I saw the sign in the same instance as she raised her voice. Oh shit, this is a one-way street! Then we'll have to turn back. Good luck trying to turn this bulldozer around, I thought to myself. Ariel laughed. Never mind, no one's coming anyway. Aren't you trying to keep a low profile? This is how you do it? She laughed even harder. It was contagious. Suddenly I found myself giggling too. It's plain to see why you don't have a license. Getting cheeky, are we? It's the truth. Well, it's plain to see that you're completely lost in the city. You'd need someone to show you around. For sure. Okay, but stop over there behind that red car. Uh-huh. I did as she told me and she opened the door. Wait here, it won't take long. She popped over to the other side of the street and went into a building. I let go of the wheel and closed my eyes. Phew. The sun shone through the window and made the inside of the van radiant with heat. My body relaxed and my thoughts wandered. Think about Ariel. Sure, why not? Immediately I saw her face before me. Talk about being cheeky, huh? I almost jumped from my seat when Ariel opened the door again. She put a parcel down between us. Okay, let's head back. We sat in silence as I tried to find my way. After a while, Ariel turned to me. Then, are you cool with being Leia? Now, what did she mean? In what way specifically? She looked at me a few seconds before answering. Non-males are the ones leading this battle, and that's how we'd like to keep it. Aha, that was sort of vaguely stated, but I thought I understood what she was trying to say. I'm not male, but I'm not female either. I'm not male, that's for sure, but I'm not female either. Okay, it's cool. That's what I thought. Is that good enough for you? She eyed me. I said non-males, didn't I? If you're not male, it's fine. I didn't feel fine, really, but I didn't know what to say either. This will become complicated. The thought flickered by. But I didn't want to hang on to it. Ariel stared straight ahead. Her little nose was like an exclamation mark. Or rather, all of her was like one. I got an urge to take her hand. Why? Why when she'd just hurt me? It's your call. Would you like to stay in touch? I didn't know what staying in touch would mean, but I feel like we should. I don't know, just in case. You never know. I would. She nodded. I'm glad. As we got out of the car, I handed her the key back. She took my hand. It was for a brief moment, still longer than expected. Thanks for helping us out today, Leia. I hope to see you again. Rin's day off. Oh, thank goodness we get a day off. Cater's gonna Kate, how are ya? I got brave and took both me and my cat to our doctors. Yay. I'm relieved I went, but damn, this is gonna be an expensive 6 months. I hate having to do it. It has to be done. That's the face of someone farting. I mean, we could have been gassing up that car. Alright, then came my day off. I'd been looking forward to taking it easy. Not seeing anyone, just being alone, watching series, or reading a book. But now, when I had the chance, my skin started to itch. So much had happened in the last few days that my head was spinning. Those things were way too vivid in my mind to let go of. I found myself thinking that maybe I'd be better off hanging out with someone. That's not like me at all. I barely even knew anyone here. The only people I could connect with were the ones I'd met through work. I shouldn't meet with them outside of my assignments. But I really wanted to see someone. Spend the day with Sylvester? Now, why would I pick that? Ew! Ariel or Sylvester? What do we feel? Oh, we have our moments. Man, we really were, like, embracing everyone. Find one of each to get a bigger picture. Fragments. Ah, we have a whole contact list. Cool. So we're spending the day with Sylvester? Ariel. As soon as I texted her, she replied that she'd be happy to see me. I didn't know what I'd expected. It sure seemed to be rejection. Could that be my way of holding on to the thought that it would be better for me to not contact anyone at all? I had been wrong this time, and that insight made my heart flutter for a moment. Then I got nervous. Was I okay for her? And more importantly, how should I do my hair? Ponytail or casual? Is the ponytail not casual? Casual. I decided to wear it as I usually did. Now I had to kill time until tonight. We had decided to meet outside of the industrial building and go for a walk from there. So what did you do this week apart from seeing me? I couldn't tell her about the crazy stuff that had been going on. Nothing special. And you? It's been good. Good stuff happened. She seemed overly satisfied. Then tell me. Nope. Okay. Are you okay with a long walk? Yeah, I suppose so. I thought I'd show you around a little. Okay, cool. I'm mostly within the harbor area. I like those kinds of desolated places. I wasn't surprised, but she was very talkative today. Maybe she considered this as her time off too? I might show you something cool. Might? As we strolled along, Ariel told me about a book she was reading. Then she looked up. See that balcony? It's possible to climb up on it through that ladder. Want to give it a go? Oh, that seemed far up. Have you been up there before? I have. And you survived? Yeah, that is, if I'm not a ghost. You want to go first? Then I can catch you if you fall. Yeah, I'd crush you. You're welcome. The ladder squeaked as I started to climb. The thin metal bars threatened to give way at any moment. I tried not to listen and get up there as quickly as possible. Ariel began climbing behind me. She didn't seem nervous at all. I reached the platform, crawled onto it, and hurried to place my back against the building. I closed my eyes. My heart was beating furiously. I could sense Ariel coming toward me and sitting down next to me. The sun shone on my bare arms. You can open your eyes. Now I noticed the view. The vast railway yard crammed with freight trains, and behind it the city center. Even though the streets lay in shades, we were bathing in sunlight. The warmth mixed with the relief of having survived the ascent gave me a cozy, fuzzy feeling. Ariel's skin turned yellow. I watched her forearms followed along to her small hands that lay in her lap, finally at peace. They're so cute. It was long since I had gotten such a strong feeling of here and now. Ariel looked out in the distance. I got an urge to touch her. Touch. Without thinking, I put my hand out to touch her hand. Her body twitched as she quickly averted herself from me. I should have thought that through. She seemed to react on instinct. For a brief moment, she stared right into my face. Did I scare you? No, it's okay. It's okay. I wondered if it really was. But I'd better not bug her. It sure is an amazing view from here. Yeah, I know. Thanks for taking me. Thank you for coming along. Is it possible to see your place from here? It's not. I see. Do you live by yourself? Rin! What are you doing? Play it cool! She smiled. No, I don't. She didn't fill in the blanks. The image of Indira came before me, and I couldn't interpret the emotions swirling around in my guts. Some kind of excitement mixed with disgust. Was it jealousy? That's weird. I didn't know anything about them. And you? I live alone. I'm not good at spending too much time close to others. She grinned. Right. In the evening light, she looked adorable. The setting sun made her hair take fire. She made me think about a sweet turning out to be flavored with chili. You're beautiful. Rin, why are you being the creeper now? Do we tell her that she's beautiful? I feel like we should take the hint. I'm not gonna say anything. She's clearly not interested. Conflicting emotions stirred in me at the same time. What do you want from me? Well, that also sounds like not the thing to say. It was such a beautiful place, and I was here with such a beautiful person. Still, I felt a streak of sadness. Like it was all a dream. A beautiful dream, though. We sat in silence for a while until Ariel suggested we'd climb down. We walked to where I could take the bus back to my place. While I waited for it, I thought about what had happened. Even though it had been a little strange, I enjoyed this evening. Sunday. And thus, the first week in the city had come to an end. What was that, Rin? I had survived starting a new position. I'd even had a date, or whatever you would call it. Ariel had shown me around. She'd taken me to her favorite spot in the city, and we'd had a wonderful time. Still, I didn't know what to make of it. I probably had to wait and see. I did suspect it was a good thing that my job made me a busy bee. That way I would be fully occupied and lucky enough to earn money at the same time. But I had to admit, the thought flew through my mind ever so often. Why did I have to come here? Was it really necessary? It seemed that even though this was a day off, I wouldn't be able to get much rest. Monday. I think she's very sus though for some reason. Oh, because she made us film that like weird video and didn't tell us anything else about it? It won't tell us about her week? Is that why she might be sus? Are we ghosts? I missed the first hour. We are not ghosts. We are working some gigs we work on this app, doing stuff for people around town, and I thought we would go and hang out with Ariel off the clock, but I think we were weird about it. So those bangs are a conscious choice? And not a result of being murdered horribly? Oh no! What was wrong with the bangs? And just like that, a new week was starting. My random schedule made it easy to lose track of days. Seems like Hattori had sent me a message. He did say something about it when we met, that at the start of every week, employees would get a rating based upon their work during the previous week. We did not do great. I didn't know what to think of it, but as long as I kept getting assignments and salary, I'd be alright. Linda must at least have been satisfied enough with me with the Midsummer Eve events because she'd actually sent me a new offer. Speaking of which, I should decide on what to do today. Oh, okay, she sent a new offer? Linda, create interest in an art exhibition at my gallery. Should we go to Linda's gallery? Emerald also would like us to keep making her husband jealous. Okay, Emerald sent us an offer. Keep making my husband jealous. With your help, I'm sure he'll get back with me. My husband seems to have gotten tired of me, but I think you can help me get him interested again. I'm ready for some excitement in my life. Will you help me? Obviously, we have to help Emerald. And then... Linda. My gallery is opening a new exhibition. Help us create interest in the art by talking to people at the opening event. Okay. That doesn't seem so bad. Then performance review. Dear Rin, a very good start for our new hire. Your client rating is above average, which is impressive. Okay, keep up the good work. All right, we're not fired. Yay. Welcome. Did we look at this? Starting soon, your work offers will show up in the assignments tab. Check your assignments often. We know that. Cool, so we've read everything. All right, what else do we need to do? Emerald to make her husband jealous or Linda's gallery? What's your average if 3.7 is good? That's what I'm thinking. I was worried that 3.7 was low. But also I'm worried that there are no other employees. Help Emerald get tipsy. Should we just go to Emerald? Emerald's place. This time, Emerald wanted me to come over to the mansion and hang out by the pool. Our sugar mommy. The plan to get her husband jealous was obviously still in motion. I wasn't sure about how it was going to happen, but I decided to go along with it anyway. Getting paid for spending a day in the sun was okay, wasn't it? Not that I was very fond of sunbathing. I'd learned by now that assignments weren't always easy, no matter how simple they sounded, so I'd set my expectations to whatever happens, happens. Emerald kissed my cheeks to greet me. It's so nice to see you again, Taiga. Why did you choose that name? I like it. Sounds like tiger. Rawr. Rin. Stop them. How do we stop them? You need to do it with more conviction. Sorry, can't do that. Okay, I forgive you. Emerald was giving off a carefree vibe today. Without even knowing it, we matched our clothes. Isn't that amazing? Like synchronicity. Do you believe in synchronicity? Nah, not truly. I've probably just heard too much spiritual talk recently. But it would be nice if there were some universal power in instigating exceptional things to happen when stars align and such. What star sign are you? A lion, obviously. She smiled happily. I've invited a friend over. She's a real blabbermouth, so she'll definitely spill the beans about you being here. Good, I suppose. Next to the pool, there were a few deck chairs with small tables for drinks in between. We sat down. Emerald put on her sunglasses, opened up her robe, and lay down to sunbathe. This is one time I appreciate not having bore a child. My friends who did are often cautious about wearing a bikini. You wanted a child? She kept quiet for a while. Actually, for many years, it was the only thing I could think about. Her voice crumbled. We tried everything there is to try. You and Stu? Mm-hmm. We gave up a few years ago. It's too late for me, apparently. We started out too late. You don't want to do an adoption? She shook her head, but didn't go into details. No, I'm fine. As long as I still have Stu. Her voice was thin. I see. She forced a smile. Enough of that now. Let's focus on you. Me? I wouldn't think so. Fortunately, a shrill voice cut through the air. Emerald, I'm here! Your cleaner let me in! She stopped to a halt in front of us. Am I interrupting something? Emerald took off her glasses. Don't be stupid, Jane. We're only talking. Who's this then? Are you friends with Bella? I'm Emerald's friend. Okay. She turned toward Emerald, pretending I wasn't there. Emerald, what's going on? You have to tell me these things. Then she gave Emerald's drink a stare. Pim's cup? Where do I get it? She hurried off to where Emerald was pointing. Apparently, I'd missed the weather reports about a storm coming in. Jane came back holding a drink. She turned to me. So, how do you know Emerald then? You have to tell me everything. Where did the two of you meet? Oh, at the horse racing track? I don't know if I love that. Do we look like the type that would be there? D-Job, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. This went deeper than I thought Hot Girl Pool Day would go. So, have you ever wanted children? We got very deep very fast. With that hairdo, Jane looks like Frankenstein's wife. A little bit. Through my work? Well, I can't say my work because then that outs us. Yeah, where? It was probably best not to think too much. At a dinner. That was somewhat true, and apparently not interesting enough for Jane to keep asking questions. Yes. I see. In that second, Emerald's phone rang. Saved by the bell, huh? Emerald looked satisfied when she saw the caller ID. Hi, honey. Yeah, I'm having friends over. We're sunbathing. It's Tyga and Jane. You know her. A new friend of mine. It's alright. I'll have Gordon make something for you later. No, I'm not that hungry. I'll just have some snacks with my friends. Bye-bye. As she hung up, she looked like she'd won the lottery. He's not coming home until later tonight. Let's have fun. Yay, let's! Why don't we take a dip in the pool? I'm not stripping? In what world are we not stripping? I'd already told Emerald that I wouldn't take my clothes off, and she'd be okay with that. Fine. Nope. Emerald gave me a look, seemingly saying, let's see about that. She took off her robe and slid into the water. Jane went to change and came back wearing a swimsuit. Do we need more drinks? Yes, please. I took my shoes off. My jeans were short enough to let me dip my feet in the water without getting my clothes wet. Emerald shook her head. Just get in, you know you want to. Did I? Then make me. She looked mischievous. At the moment, I thought she really thinks she owns me. Emerald grabbed my shirt and pulled me into the water. So that's what we would do. I furiously started splashing water at her. We were both laughing when Jane came back. What happened here? I got Tyga into deep water. I can see that. This isn't like you, Emerald. I mean... Her lips were forming questions, but she didn't say them out loud. Let the rumors start flying. Emerald exchanged glances with me. Now we're home, she seemed to say. Emerald's rating 5 out of 5! Oh yeah, her husband's gonna be so jealous. One day later... Does Emerald and Ariel not look the same? Do they? I feel like they're different, like, skin colors. Isn't Ariel pink? Maybe they're the same, I don't know. The next day, I woke up late to new messages on my phone. I actually had quite a fun time at Emerald's place. I couldn't tell if the assignment as a whole was going in the right direction, but as long as Emerald was satisfied, I was too. Now, I better decide on what to do today. Let's see. Sveta? Who is that? Okay, 32, founder, 26 to 40-year-old male. My daughter is asking for her dad. Could you be the parent she's missing? Do I look... Can I be their dad? My daughter doesn't know her dad, but she keeps asking about him. I'd like to offer her to meet him. Will you play her dad? I feel like we shouldn't do that. That seems messy. But I could also end up being this child's new father. Become a daddy for a day, ma'am. Okay. So, Sveta. We can go try to be a dad. Or we can go to Linda's art gallery and help her create some... I don't know. Do we become a dad? Should we just ignore that one altogether? This feels like a long-term commitment and also a terrible idea. A hard no. Let's be a dad. Oh no. Let's go to the gallery. Let's not become parents today. It's been one of those days that's so busy that now I'm sitting and resting. I feel like I should be doing more, but there's no point. I'd just be doing it with my brain cooked. Yeah, you gotta, like, I know it's hard to turn it off, but it's one of those things you gotta just, like, you can do it. Relax, brain off. I feel that. Linda for the smooches. We have kissed Linda, so we could get an extra smooch today, who knows. This was the gallery that Linda ran. Prosperous, maybe, but smaller than I'd expected. The size made it feel like there was a significant amount of people, but in fact, there weren't that many. I saw Linda on the other side of the room and we exchanged glances. When she'd finished her conversation, she came over. Hi, Kelly, I'm glad to see you. Hi there. She lowered her voice. As I told you, the only thing you need to do is go around and talk to people about how great the artist is and hint at your buying things. Roger. Easy money, I thought to myself as Linda turned to catch some prey. Then I saw some well-known figures in the distance. Sylvester and Mau Mau. Why? We should have just been a dad, to be honest. I want to go back. You know, just wanted a reason to be called daddy, and we Jean-Lou'd her again. I know. It's really a terrible life I live. So they were here too. Should I go say hi? Sure. Let's be nice. Mau Mau's face lit up as I approached them. Hi there, pretty. Regrets. I already regret. I was just trying to be nice. Let's just go and make sure we're not being weird about it. I bet he didn't remember my name. Hi, Kelly. Was it the lighting or did Sylvester's face show a hint of red? Maybe he was ashamed of Mau Mau? If anything had bothered him, he quickly let it go. Don't tell me you're here for the same reason as us. I shrugged my shoulders. I don't know why you're here. Hee. Mau Mau looked around. The art's amazing, isn't it? Don't you think I should go and place a bid on some of the works? Then he left me with Sylvester. We looked at each other for a while, but neither of us spoke. I started feeling awkward. I'd better go talk to people. Sylvester smiled. Do your thing. Sylvester. Y'all, I have worked at my job for 1.5 years. It turns out that this entire time I have been linked to the wrong ID badge because someone with my same first name started on the same day as me. The odds of that happening. That's so crazy. Looking around, I spotted a guy standing by himself, a bit secluded, watching one of the paintings. I went over to him. That one's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I kind of like it. He sounded surprised. I'm not usually fond of traditional paintings. Why not? He made a face. I think it's a rather ineffective medium to convey a message. There are better ways these days. I see. I didn't quite understand what he was getting at, but I think I got the big picture. How would you do it then? It's always best to yell at the top of your lungs. As he opened his mouth to inhale, I thought he might start screaming, but instead he made a little yawn. Then he smiled apologetically and started moving. Weird much? Okay, but I'd better start doing my job. Then someone bumped into me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no! Oh no! Our worlds are colliding. He looked at me with a hint of recognition in his eyes. We've met before, haven't we? Yeah, briefly at a restaurant. I was there with Emerald. Oh, that's it. What was your name again? Taiga. Yeah, I remember now. How do you and Emerald know each other then? How do you like the art? Harvey looked around as if I hadn't thought of it before. It's colorful. I know, I'm actually thinking of getting, I gotta go talk to some people, nice to meet you, and say hello to Emerald if you see her. Right. Then Mau Mau came to my side. He looked at me as if I'm trying to find something out. Have I got something on my face? He laughed. Never mind, I was just thinking of something. He glanced over the room. What can I say, man? This city is a wondrous place. Here, you've got the opportunity to be yourself, regardless of who you are, far away from judgment and old customs. It's like a melting pot and a sanctuary all at once. Isn't it amazing? I wasn't sure what he was referring to, so I merely nodded. Want to go for a drink with me and Sylvester after this? Oh, I'm tired. Actually, I'm rather tired, so I think I'll go home. Okay, I'm pretty much done here for the day, so I'm gonna go hook arms with Sylvester then. Nice to meet you again, Kelly. He leisurely strolled away. The crowd started to sparse out. I think it might be time to call it a day. I found Linda chatting with clients. She looked content. I approached her as she'd finished talking. I'll be leaving now. I hope the event was to your satisfaction. Oh, hi, Kelly. Yeah, it went great. Thanks for helping out. I nodded. Anytime. Did we actually help? I don't know. Good to know. As I walked home, I watched the sunset. An unfamiliar emotion arose within me. This actually had been kind of a fun day. In fact, I enjoyed myself. Okay, 4 out of 5. I don't think we did much, though. Later the same week. I'd woken up feeling a little lighter. Maybe I was getting used to this? I don't know what to think after the events at the gallery. There'd been some eccentric people, even when not counting Sylvester and Mau Mau. Then I had to bump into Harvey of all people. But Linda was happy, which meant I was happy too. While I was sleeping, Indira had contacted me. What? She wrote that she wanted to see me and have a talk. She suggested we meet at a cafe. I swear, I didn't mean for Rin to say all that weird stuff on the rooftop. Oh no. A talk? About what? I don't know, maybe you flirting with her girlfriend. That made deciding on today's schedule a little harder. I still had to choose what to do. I mean, does it make it harder? I don't want to be this child's father. Our rating is up to 4.5. About you flirting with her girl, exactly. I mean, I'm not happy when Linda is happy. Do we not like Linda? Alright, let's go meet up with Indira. It's 5, I'm gonna drive home, talk to you when I'm there. Amazing, drive safe. Nina's the child's father now. Well, I'll try to avoid that one until we have to, you know? The cafe was worn and torn in a charming way. I'd heard it was run by a bunch of activists. Indira was already sitting at a table with a cup of coffee in front of her. As I approached her, she looked up but didn't smile. She's pissed. Hey there. She gave me a nod. Oh, no. We're gonna get scolded. Hi, Leia. I tried to shake off the strange feeling that arose within me and went to order something. As I was waiting at the counter, thoughts swirled through my mind. She had such an immediate effect on me, I felt I wanted to run from her, but at the same time she drew me toward her. What was it? I couldn't pinpoint the emotion. Why had she asked to see me? I ordered a big cup of tea to have something to focus on for a while, then I went back, sat down, and tried to stay present. In the same instant, the lights went out. Oops. What? Oh, I don't like where this is going. Indira, there's an easy way to get us to stop flirting. Okay. Seems like the electricity provision isn't going as intended. Your kidneys! Oh no! Surprised anyone? My heart had jumped a beat. I'd somewhat expected to get rid of power outages by moving to the city. Apparently, it wasn't that easy. The cafe staff came rushing to light candles, apologizing and reassuring us the power would come back on soon. Indira watched me. What's going on? What's going on with you? I shook my head. This wasn't something I wanted to talk about. Silence spread around us as Indira seemed thoughtful. So, you're new to this city. Yeah, I came here a little over a week ago. What are you hoping to achieve here? I want to earn money. Back where I'm from, there are no jobs except for short bouts of time in the summer when the tourists arrive. Outside of that, everyone's acting like zombies. I see. I made her smile. That had to be an achievement, at least. Now she scrutinized my face again. You seem intelligent. Doing my best. After you helped us out last week, Ariel and I had a talk about it. She likes you. And I think you seem alright too. Wow, did I get her blessing? Now, Rin. Would you like to hang out more with the two of us? Considering my mixed feelings, I wasn't sure. It felt as if she wanted something from me, something I had yet to figure out. I might. I mean, I don't have a lot of people to hang out with, so it could be nice. Then she gave me a glimmering smile. Cool, I'll text you and we'll see. That's when the lights came back on. Her face lit up and her eyes glistened even more. I didn't know how to feel. Was I attracted to her or intimidated by her? Why not both? The ultimate question. Attraction or intimidation? Without a doubt, this woman could crush you. Or she could crush your enemies. What if she'd protect you? Either way, getting close to her would surely have consequences. When I left the cafe, I wasn't any less confused than before. My blood felt carbonated. What would come of this? Time would have to tell. Crush me. Rin loves digging holes. She really does. The answer's yes. That's suspicious. That's weird. Rin is just saying a little bit too much in every situation. Yet another week had passed. Not that time mattered much, but now I once again had a day off. My phone had been popping with messages. That was pretty random, or at least uncommon. One was from Ariel asking if I wanted to come over to her place. I had also gotten a message from Indira asking if I wanted to spend the day with her and Ariel. She wrote that if I'd rather see Ariel alone, she didn't mind that either. What was going on over there? And Sylvester had texted me asking me if I wanted to go for a walk. I wasn't used to being that much in demand. First world problems for sure. I should choose. Okay, we can meet Ariel and Indira together. Ariel by herself, or Sylvester. Oh, I think the daddy one expired. Oh no, it's still here. Just kidding. F off, Sylvester, we have women to kiss. Love triangle already? Damn. I mean, the beginning of the game was literally a fight, so we're just jumping straight into the deep end. Let's hang out with both of them. I'd been given the opportunity to go to their place. Even though Indira had mentioned she'd get in touch, I thought it would take longer to get invited in like that. Maybe I shouldn't put too much thought into it. Instead, get ready to go. It was Ariel who opened the door. Hey there, and welcome. Looking around, their apartment seemed big. And if she'd read my mind, Ariel turned to me. 2 other people used to live here, but they moved out a while ago. I see. The apartment was not that far from the city center. It had to be costly. Why did they move out? We had a plan to work together, but it didn't work out. Okay. Something with their organization again. Did everything in their lives revolve around that? And in that case, where did I enter the picture? Let's sit down. Indira is out getting food. She'll be here anytime now. I sat down in the sofa and Ariel in a chair next to it. Sitting back, I asked myself whether this was a date or some kind of meeting. Maybe those categories weren't easily separated when it came to Ariel and Indira. I had a feeling that this could be both. Then the door opened and Indira came in, putting a takeaway bag on the table in front of us. God, were they slow. You're already here. She put the food down on the table, leaned over, and gave me a hug. I hadn't expected that, and my cheeks were suddenly burning. Why are we embracing like this? I thought she didn't like us. Thruple time. This is a very intimate hug. Then she let go and gave me a wide smile. Finally, I'm so hungry. Are you hungry, Leia? Right, Leia was my name here. Maybe. You don't know? I shook my head as redness kept spreading across my cheeks. Nina, shush, this is for me. Sorry, let it happen. Thruple time. I never got hungry when I was nervous, or for that matter, infatuated. This time, I couldn't pinpoint exactly what stood in the way, but I knew my body didn't feel an urge to eat. I ordered some different kinds of Indian foods. That place is great, since you can put it on a tab and pay later. Let's eat out of the box and save dishes. She left to get cutlery. We ate in large, unbroken silence. When finished, Ariel took the trash out and Indira sat back in the armchair. Since you've been thrown into some tasks by us without much of a context, I bet you have a lot of questions. We want to make you feel more at ease, so feel free to ask whatever you want. Ariel came back in and looked at me. What is it that you're doing? Exactly. Ariel glanced at Indira. She seemed to check who should answer. Our goal is to achieve change. Change with a faster pace than what society might wish for. What does that mean? It's become pretty obvious that leaders don't want change. Rich people don't want change. No, exactly. They want to mine precious minerals in space, transform the world with AI, and build private tunnels underground. All while they wreck the world and ordinary people suffer for it. I nodded. She had a point there. We're determined that this must change, so we plan to achieve it. They were very synced in this. Once again, I thought about their confidence and strength in believing in something. Did a world exist in which I felt something remotely similar? Without a warning, the room went pitch black. Wow. Indira started laughing. I love it when life adds special effects. This always happens at the best moments. Ariel went away and came back with an old-style lamp. A match glowered as she lit it, as well as some candles. Hopefully this will last a few hours. The outage might not last long. Last time the power got back after a few minutes. Yeah, but it's not always like that. I knew that, but I still hoped. Why not make use of the time we have? She went to get a pack of cards, sat back down, and started mixing them with ease. Wolfstame, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. So we're marrying them? Is that the goal? Should we marry them? I never learned to do that well, no matter how many times it got demonstrated to me. I was always made fun of for not being able to. At least I knew the game Indira proposed. We played and played, but the power didn't come back on. I'm bored with this, and I'm tired. The lamp started to flicker as the paraffin was going out. The candles were still burning. Indira looked out the window and then caught my gaze. It sure is dark out there. Are you going back to your place, or would you like to stay over? Now, why would you think to ask? Akira, how are you doing? Are we done with verdant gardening? We finished Strange Horticulture yesterday. We did. We're playing Truer Than You today. Is it okay to stay? Would I ask you otherwise? Well, probably not. I'll stay then. I can take the sofa. Ariel got me a blanket and one of the candles. Will this be all right? Sure. Sleep tight then. She leaned over me and gave me a swift kiss on the forehead. Then she headed to the bedroom where Indira was waiting. She drew the curtains between the rooms. I lay down, but didn't take my clothes off. Why would you take your clothes off? I put the blanket over my body and blew out the candle. The darkness was compact, like some kind of living being. I wanted to shut out any whispers and sounds from their room, but I still listened. After a brief moment of mumbled voices, there was absolutely nothing to hear. So there I lay, sleepless. Sunday! Sleep nakies! I've never asked you for anything ever. I know. We had to stay over because you've never asked for anything ever. The week had passed by in an instant. A lot of things had happened. I didn't know if anything had become clearer from hanging out with Ariel and Indira, and it for sure hadn't given me more hours of sleep. A good thing with being so busy was that it had been easy to postpone any thoughts or emotions. Now they surfaced whether I wanted it or not. I had left that bunch of printouts exactly as they were for 2 weeks in my bag untouched. I tried to pretend they didn't exist. Of course, I'd never forgotten about them. I went over and opened the bag. I hadn't taken much when I left home. The phone I'd used before had become a gift for one of the kids who lived nearby. I wasn't fond of that phone, and I had to get a newer one for work anyway. There was only one thing I'd needed to save: those messages. I'd had to go to the library to print them out. It had taken a full day to go back and forth from the island. Having them on paper felt like the safest way to keep them, although there wasn't a day when I didn't regret having read them in the first place. I unfolded the paper and started reading. I've been riding the waves today. My roommate took me to surfing class and I actually succeeded to stand on the board. Although I grew up by the sea, I never experienced anything like it. And it made me think, this chance I'd been given by you, Mom and Dad, I can't describe what it means to me. It's all been contributed to in different ways, but comes together as one united whole: freedom. I folded the paper bunch and put it back again. I wasn't ready for this. I didn't want to think about him or anything that had happened. I didn't want to think about Yoon. His name surfaced no matter how hard I tried to shut it out. Yoon. A new week had started, but I didn't want to leave my bed. Somehow I still managed to roll out of it as my alarm kept urging me. I made some tea. I'd gotten some feedback from TrueNet, and no matter if I wanted it or not, it was time to choose my task for the day. Let's see. Okay, the daddy one is still here, and we have Carmichael. Offer from Carmichael, 35, journalist, 25 to 55, gender unimportant. Help me gather information about a person by talking to people in their social circle. Oh, stalker! I'm Carmichael, and I work as a journalist. I'd need you to gather information about a person by getting close to people in their social circle. It's research for a news piece. Will you help me? Is it research for a news piece? Are we sure that it is? Stalking or dad? Let's accept that. Performance review, second week. Dear Rin, amazing work this week. Not only are you performing at a great level, but your client rating has also improved. Our clients are wonderful, and so are you. You're truer than the truth itself. I bet you can feel it. Excited to see where you'll go next. Okay. No thanks. Social circles makes me feel like Rin is gonna get caught. Rin's not great in the social circles. Let's go be a dad. I'm curious. Let me go traumatize a child. Noticing how my heart pounded, I reckoned this was the most nervous I'd ever been before an assignment. The role I was about to play was very far from my self-image, which made me genuinely doubt that I'd be able to pull it off. Still, I was here. This was Sveta's decision, and I had agreed to play along. It was as if I committed to keep going without thinking too much until it didn't work anymore. I sat down on a bench and waited, looking out over the empty park. It was still before noon. People were at work, children at school or daycare. It didn't take long until a woman and a child came walking toward me. The woman had to be Sveta? Is that her name? Sveta. And beside her, Iris. Was that how small a 5-year-old was? Sveta smiled and said hi, then turned to her child. Iris, this is Ben. Ben? Okay, we're Ben now. Ben, this is Iris. Hi there. Iris looked at me with a dubious expression. Are you my dad? Yeah, I am. Okay. I like your earring. Why, thank you. Sveta giggled a little. She has a strong fashion sense. That's good. I turned to Iris again. I brought you a gift, just a little something. Candy necklace. I took the small gift bag out of my pocket and handed it over. Iris instantly tore it open. Look, Mom, a necklace! She held up the necklace for Sveta to see. You didn't have to do that. Iris put the necklace on. Will you watch when I go down the chute? Sure. I followed her to the climbing frame, and it didn't take long until she was running around laughing. Sveta took a seat on a bench a little ways from us. I assumed she wanted to give us time to get to know each other. As I followed behind Iris over a wooden suspension bridge, she turned around. We both stopped in our tracks. Iris gave me an incredulous look. You don't look like a dad. Excuse you? I was a little taken aback. Then how does a dad look, according to you? Bigger, and maybe with a beard. Uh-huh, but all dads don't have beards, you know. Okay. She looked thoughtful. How old are you? Why don't you take a guess? 15. No, a little older than that. 26. Mom is 32, but she looks very young. My preschool teacher says. Iris climbed off the frame and I jumped down behind her. Now you have to see when I swing. You just give me a little push and then I can get super high all on my own. I'll show you. She climbed onto the swing and I pushed it. She got going, joyfully singing as she swung higher and higher. I stepped back, watching her from a distance. Sveta came up to me. She seems happy. Indeed. Sveta lowered her voice. It's a fun thing to ponder, that if you were what we claim you are, you and I would have had something going on a few years back. How would that have happened, do you think? Sveta! Maybe we met at an event. I don't know, maybe we could have met at some kind of event? Yeah, an after work or something? Or one of those mingle breakfasts with talks? She seemed to get lost in thought. I suspected she was thinking about Iris's real father. You know, there were quite a few people responding to that request. It's almost like a reverse dating site. I mean, hooking up after it's all said and done, somehow? She laughed dryly. I guess that's not how you met Iris's real dad. Not quite, no. May I ask why he's not in her life? What makes you think he's not? Because you hired me to be him? I stepped away for a bit. Why are we hanging out with the kid? The kid's mom hired us to pretend to be the child's dad. That's why we're here. I thought, yeah, I get it. It's a long and complicated story. I'm not sure he'll ever be able to take on that role, unfortunately. For various reasons. I'm not going to go into them, if that's okay with you. Sure. Iris is always asking me about him. I want her to be able to think back to this, to at least having met him at one point. I understand. Sort of. Thanks. Then Iris's shrill little voice cut through the air. Look at me! I'm gonna jump! Be careful. I set off toward her at the moment she jumped. Sand scattered at her landing and her skirt spread around her as her knees gave way. Before she had the time to feel any pain, I picked her up and raised her to the sky. What a brave girl! You should be a tiny bit careful not to break anything. Sveta also came up to us and I handed Iris over. Sveta gave her a kiss on the cheek. We'll be going home in a few minutes, sweetie, so if there's anything else you'd like to try, you should do it now. No! Iris looked cross and then she signaled to be put down and leapt off to the cycle roundabout. We walked leisurely after her. Actually, I think you'd make a great parent. You do? Thanks. Not sure something like that will ever happen, though. No? I shook my head. She still had a point, though. I'd enjoyed being with Iris more than I'd expected. Life keeps surprising you, doesn't it? A 4? Sveta. 4 out of 5. Look at me, I'm the daddy now. I hate that we're doing this. Rin's gonna have someone else's kid hunting us down 15 years demanding answers they don't have. I feel like we meddled a little bit there. I don't know. I want more details on the real dad. And then I can maybe make up my mind about how I feel. It was a new day, which equaled an endless number of opportunities. My mind was a little stuck on previous happenings, though. So now I'd gotten a taste of what it was like to have a child. Or had I? Pretending to be someone definitely wasn't the same as the real thing, but maybe it was the best we could do. But that wasn't the only thing on my mind. Having opened the door and read those messages the other day affected me more than I wanted to admit. Maybe it was time to start looking for answers I'd been avoiding up until now. Okay, Carmichael, Iris's birthday, or do some investigating. Okay, we have an offer from Sveta. Celebrate Iris's birthday. We are her father, so we'll have a small party and she wants you there. Iris wants only one thing for her birthday, and that is to celebrate it with her dad. Will you come? Oh, I think we're in too deep. We have to go now. Sveta is beautiful. She's allowed to make some bad choices. Oh. Sveta didn't answer Rin's questions. That's my problem. I need to know more. Maybe we should go to the party so that we can learn more. Or we can do some investigating into our life. Also Carmichael. Oh, Carmichael. The stalker. Life should be small and low stakes. This one is neither. It's so true. This is not a small little white lie. So I would keep pretending to be Iris's dad. And this time, at her birthday party. I couldn't help but feeling uncomfortable about it. Probably it was due to the framing in the assignment. Iris wants only one thing for her birthday, and that is to celebrate it with her dad. I mean, seriously? Of course it was Iris who opened the door. Yay, you're here! What did you bring? Do you have a present? Of course. Who would go to a birthday party without bringing a present? I handed Iris the present and she shone. Then Sveta came up to us. Hi, Ben. Great to see you. She turned to Iris. It's not time to open presents yet, but you can take it and bring it to the table. Okay. In the living room, I saw another woman. Next to her, a baby rested in a cot. Ben, this is Xena and Juniper. They're our neighbors. I said hello to them. Will there be any more people? No, we're keeping it small. Xena looked at me intently. It's nice to finally meet you, Ben. I got a feeling she knew about me being an actor. Or maybe she was curious about Iris's dad. What made you decide to show up? Not knowing my child. I couldn't bear the thought of having a child I didn't know. I decided to steer my life in a new direction, and also I wanted to know if she was anything like me. Did you want her to? Be like you, I mean. Isn't it better that she has a calmer life? Now, what did she refer to? And now I think you're here. And now to think you're here, just like that. Was it me, or did she seem sarcastic? Isn't it a good thing? Xena smiled wryly. Let's see. Then Iris stomped over. Oh, now you're doing that grown-up talk on my birthday. She put her hand out and resolutely took mine. I'll show you to my room. She dragged me away. As I went in, I got a little startled. The room was a strange mix of ordinary children's attire and strange artworks hung on the walls. They were almost like dioramas with fantasy characters and settings. I noticed many dramatic scenes, blood and fire, white wolves, and slayed dragons. Sveta came up behind me and noticed what I was looking at. Who made these? You don't remember? I seem to have said something out of line. There's been some time since you saw those last, wasn't it? This obviously had to do something with Iris's dad. Yeah, I guess. Iris tugged at my arm. Leave, Mommy, I'm playing with Ben. Okay, let's play. What do you want to do? Dinosaur soup. Okay. She hurried to get some plastic dinosaurs and bowls to mix them in. We played for a while, even though I have to admit I was rather bad at it. What is it that makes children good at playing and grown-ups completely useless? Maybe you could have told us anything. I'm like, maybe I should, like, I'm asking questions because you didn't explain anything about the situation. Some changes in the brain, most probably. First, you have a sparkling, colorful child brain, and then you get a dull adult one. Just my luck. Then I suddenly remembered how boring it would be to try to play on your own, instead of together with someone. Ouch. I felt Iris's gaze at me. You're not focusing! Sorry. Then we heard Sveta's voice from the other room. Come and have cake! Iris let go of the dinosaur soup and ran into the other room, and I followed. Sveta was pouring Xena some coffee. I had almost forgot about those artworks. That's weird when you put so much effort into them. I know. Sveta stared into my eyes while talking as to remind me to tread carefully. It must have been nice to work on those as a contrast to your other works. I mean, getting to do things for fun instead of trying to accomplish something all the time. What was she talking about now? It sure was. I wanted to ask so many questions, but Xena was there, so I couldn't. What had happened back then, and why didn't it work out between the two of them? They're cool, but I still think you should have focused more on what's really important instead of working day and night. And that's... What do you think? Hanging out with your pregnant girlfriend, maybe? Okay, so there's some backstory here that would have been nice to have known before entering the home. Instead of hiding in a cellar doing stuff that eventually led you guys to part. I'm gonna be quiet. Even though this had nothing to do with me, I felt an urge to defend myself. I'm sorry. You're here now, that's all that matters. Now let's have cake. We had eaten the cake and Iris had opened the presents and then run back to her room to play with her new toys. No matter what, it feels good to see Iris this happy. Yeah, it sure does. She turned to me. Having you here means the world to her, Ben. It felt like someone was poking me with a stick, not letting go. Could I keep this going? I caught Sveta's gaze. I'm happy to be here too. Both Sveta and Zena smiled, even if it felt a bit forced. Now I should be on my way. Iris clung to me as we said our goodbyes. When will you come again? I hugged her and looked up at Sveta while answering. I don't know, sweetie. Me and your mom will talk about it. I hope it's tomorrow. Oh, like, my heart. Like, what are you gonna tell her next birthday? She seems too old to be pulling this. Oh, I hate it. As I walked to the bus stop, I felt like shaking the discomfort off my body, throwing it away like an old discarded skin. Should I be doing this?
I'm not cleaning that up.
Messy. Would this be good for anyone involved, or was it rather a lose-lose situation? But I was making Sveta and Iris happy, wasn't I? She gave us a 5 out of 5, though. The next day. Today, I decided to take a chill morning. Having celebrated a child's birthday was a little unexpected, especially since that child was supposed to be mine. But I tried not to dwell too much on it. No matter what, it was time to get on with my day. What should I choose? I'm gonna do some investigating. I decided to put other things on hold to do some research. I didn't know much about the life Yoon had been leading in the city, more than from the messages he'd written. I'd loved his writing, though. He had a way of making every sentence poetic, but the descriptions of situations and people were always vague. Sometimes it was hard to understand what he actually referred to. He seemed to expect me to already know what he was on about. As if my mind and his were interconnected and I had access to the same impressions as him. I wish that was actually the case. And that I had a replay button for his memories. Then I could press it and sit back and watch. I had to find out more about what had happened. I'd already waited for 2 years. This couldn't be postponed any longer. Otherwise, the people who knew him here would spread with the wind and I'd never get the chance. The university was quite a distance away, and as I rode the bus, I wondered which way he'd used to travel. Was the dorm he'd shared with other students close by? I had no idea. The doors to the communication arts faculty were locked, and no one seemed to be inside. But there was a doorbell. The person who opened was a middle-aged lady with a serious appearance. Hi, my name is Rin. She looked incredulously at me. Are you looking for someone? I am. I'm looking for someone who's teaching the photography students. Anyone like that would do. Okay, well, I'm one of those people, Professor Liu. Nice to meet you. But the university is closed for the summer. You'll have to get in touch by email. I have something important to ask. The words almost got stuck in my throat. She seemed to understand. All right then, come in. The door closed behind us, but she didn't ask me to come further in, so we stood in the hallway. I wanted to ask, did you have a student called Yoon? She studied my face. Are you a relative? I am. She gave me a little nod. Yoon was my student. Okay, what was he like as a student? Ambitious, and he always took part in interesting projects. Is there anything left from his projects? She gave me a knowing smile. I actually saved his pictures from the first year exhibition. It felt so wrong to throw them away. She looked attentively at me. I could get them for you. You could? She nodded. That would be amazing. Wait here, I'll be back soon. It took a while, then Professor Liu came back carrying a couple of boards, which she carefully handed over. Here you go. I took them in my hands, not wanting to look at them until I was on my own. I've added a note in between the pictures. It's the email address to his friend Vanessa. They used to always sit next to each other and work together on projects. She recently graduated with the others from the same year. If you're lucky, she's still in town. I nodded. My words had run out. I hope you'll get to chat to her. Luckily, I found my voice in time to thank her. Thanks a lot. I do too. Oh, yay. Contacts. The doom has begun once Rin became faux daddy. I mean, everything else so far, like, she's digging her holes, but that one was probably the deepest one so far. Imagine you could just hire a birthday parent, like a party clown or princess. I need a party parent. Thank you. My heart felt heavy as I left the campus, but I was also kind of exhilarated. I'd started to look for answers, and I'd gotten his pictures too. As I got back, I put the 3 pictures on the bed next to each other. They were scenery from the city. A graffiti-covered railway bridge and a crouching person with their belongings. A city street scattered with street food sellers, people chatting and eating. A kissing couple, one in business attire, the other in dyed hair and torn clothing outside of a bar. I couldn't take my eyes off them. When he took those pictures, where was I? What did I do? Thursday. A new day. Meeting Yoon's professor had shaken me. It made everything too real. But I was happy I'd gotten the pictures. I treasured them just like I did his messages. Then I put the pictures away. There were other things to take care of. Ariel and Indira had suggested to meet at the same cafe where I'd met Indira previously. Alright, back with the throuple. Here we go. I wondered what they wanted. Emerald had asked me to come over to her place. Oh, or Emerald. I don't know. I need to decide on today's schedule. Ooh, I have no more jobs to do besides Carmichael. Let's go do throuple business. This time I'd meet with them both. The sun was shining, so there weren't many people inside, but they'd still chosen a table in a secluded part of the cafe. Hey there. Hey, Ariel. You look nice today. Thank you. So do you, I wanted to say, but I kept it in. I ordered a cup of tea and sat down with them. She didn't do a lot of small talk until they started to get serious. Not that I had an issue with that. Indira peered at me. Since we last met, Ariel and I have been discussing. They gave each other a quick glance and... Oh, sorry. Clicked too fast. We'd like to invite you to join an event. An event? Yeah, like a happening. It's an opportunity to affect the state of things and to make an impression. We've been working on this for a while, and now we've come to the moment when it's time to do a first action. An action? There will be lots of logistics around that, so we need someone to help out with the practical stuff, mainly driving. Ah, driving again. That wasn't too hard, I'd already done it before. But what were they going to do? Last time it was only picking something up, but this sounded more complicated. Could you tell me what it's about? Ariel glanced over to Indira. We totally think you're the right person for this, not only because you'll do it well, but because it would be beneficial to you. You get to see that it's possible to stir things up and make a change, and that the negative impact you might fear is not that great. Getaway driver Rin. I feel like we might be a getaway driver. The goal is to help people see things differently, all of the involved. No one will stay the same. So she meant that this would change my view of things? So vague. Very vague. Are we being invited to an orgy or a bank robbery? Unclear. Or it's gonna change our view of things, no matter what it is. I sensed she meant it would empower me. In a little more clarity, there's this tycoon that we're planning to give a wake-up call. He's been investing heavily in fossil fuel and was a chairman of one of the worst polluters in history. What could that mean? Could you explain a bit more? I can't, but I can promise you as much. It's not anything risky. We're just gonna pull a little prank on him. We're not intending to harm anyone, and also currently we're mainly doing research. Like Indira said, the goal is to create awareness and tell the world that we've had enough. I'm sure we're not the only ones who are tired of what's going on. I suppose not. So asking again, would you be our driver the night when we're going to do research? Orgy at the bank robbery? That's a great band name. I agree. I'll do it. Let me know what time and place. Ariel and Indira both watched me with satisfied looks on their faces. We'll let you know. The next day. Another week was coming to an end. I wasn't always free on weekends, but hopefully I'd have some time off this weekend. Thinking back on my conversation with Ariel and Indira, I still didn't know what to do with it. I had agreed to go with them, so that was on the agenda now, but not today. Then what should I do today? Let's decide. Emerald. 100%. I need the emerald drama. Emerald's husband who wants to take a bet. Oh my gosh. What if that's the guy? Place your bets. I was back at Emerald's place last time. The sun was shining, but it was later in the day. Emerald must have been so happy about the pool party that she wanted us to meet again. I wondered if her relationship with her husband had changed in any way, and how on earth flirting with someone else would make her achieve that goal. It wasn't my place to question her, though. This time we were supposed to have afternoon tea in her garden. I saw her waving at me from afar. As I came closer, I saw a table jam-packed with luxurious porcelain, champagne bottles, and sweets of all kinds. You sure went all in? Of course I did. When don't I? I'll find the best one for you. She held out a tray, picked up a rose locum, and held it up to my mouth. Sweets for my sweetie. Wasn't she taking this a little too far? If I wanted to make her happy, I should probably accept it. Right. She happily fed me the candy. As I munched away, her eyes fixated on my mouth. It's super sweet. A mischievous glint flashed by in her eyes. I bet. Can I have a taste? You could? I got a strange kind of rush from seeing her eyes light up. At times, it truly was that easy to make someone happy. She leaned forward and we kissed. Then her phone rang as if it had sensed something was going on. She let go of my lips and gave me a smile. It's probably him. Let him sweat for a moment. She kissed me once more to the soundtrack of her ringtone. It felt like she wanted to make a point. When it ceased, she let go. She let go. You taste good. Like roses covered in morning dew. Thanks. It was nice to see her smile. I might not have feelings for her, but her happiness was still infectious. Her ringtone pierced the silence again. She picked the phone up to check who it was, then put it down with a satisfied grin. She took a bottle of champagne from the table and opened it casually, poured 2 glasses and handed me one of them without asking if I wanted it. Here. It goes well with the sweets. Thanks. Let's not get too drunk this time. I accepted it and had a sip. Was this what she'd envisioned when fantasizing about taking control? My job was to be the answer to someone's needs. Kind of a weird thing, but it was okay. She held up her glass and I responded by doing the same. Cheers! We hadn't come further than that until someone stomped into the garden with determined steps. Emerald, do you know what... She stopped dead in her tracks. Kelly? Oh no! Oh, hi, Bella! Emerald looked at me with a strange expression. Have you met before? We did, but only once. How do you two know each other? Good question. I remember having stated what I worked with when Mau Mau asked during that midsummer's gathering. Yeah, so we can't say the whole PhD thing. Let's say we met at a gallery. Aha, I see. Emerald has a lot of time to visit exhibitions. I do charity work. Working with artists is part of that. Sure. I was gonna ask you, Emerald, do you know what's up with Dad? He's not answering his phone. Are we just the dad in every situation now? Oh no. Oh no! With Dad. This is such a small city. It's a very small town for everyone to be hiring me.
I guess I've got a new daddy.
No, I haven't heard anything. That's too bad. I really wanted to talk to him. I saw this video about a very special tree that I was gonna tell him about. A tree? Yeah, I think he might benefit from its wisdom. He's currently listening a lot to this life coach of his. Even though he probably gets great advice, I think he's getting a little too dependent on him. I gave Emerald a quick glance. Apparently the life coach wasn't a woman. And I heard of this ritual where you could get in touch with a tree and then keep it as an inner guide of sorts. Doesn't that seem amazing? Depending on the job the life coach was doing, I supposed a tree could be better, or worse. I gave her a slight nod. Okay, but if you don't know, I'll leave you the two of you to indulge in whatever it is you're doing. Smoochin'. See you later. Emerald turned to me. So when you met her, your name was Kelly? It was. Taiga is way better. Whatever you say. I stayed a while longer eating some sweets I didn't particularly like, but if that would make Emerald happy, so be it. I did have a vague feeling of not having accomplished what the task was all about. Oh my gosh. So what is happening and why are you playing as Twilight Vampire? Our job is we're hired to kind of be an actor in certain scenarios. So we've been someone's date, we've gone to someone's art gallery, we've pretended to be somebody's dad. Emerald has hired us to make her husband jealous. So that's where we are. As I left, I stopped outside the gate, throwing a quick glance back. The mansion was invisible from there. I gathered that's how rich people wanted it, being able to live their lives without anyone peeking in. I wasn't sure Emerald would contact me again. If this was the last time, I surely wouldn't mind. I started walking along the road. In less than an hour, I would be back in the city, leaving one place of make-believe for another. A 3! She gave us a 3. Oh no. Our day off. Emerald is doing all of this because she thought her husband was cheating and now she's cheating. Emerald is walking the self-destructive path. Wild. And then I had another day off. It was a relief not having to play pretend for one day. I decided to not even think about what had happened during the week. Today I wanted to see someone. The offer to take a walk with Sylvester was still standing. I'm still not gonna take it. I know Sylvester keeps asking to go out, I just don't want to. But Ariel had also suggested to meet in the park. Much better. Another option was to go over to Indira's and Ariel's place and help out with something. Oh, we can do throuple vibes again. I mean, why do we want to meet with Ariel by herself? On the way to Ariel's and Indira's place, I thought about what happened last time. They'd asked me to do something for them, and I agreed to join. Meeting them on the weekend had another vibe to it than seeing them on a weekday. What would happen this time? Ariel was the one who opened the door and let me in. Yay, you're here! We went inside. Indira was sitting at the living room table. It was crammed with paper scraps, scissors, and cutting boards. Could you help us out with this? We need to cut out 2,000 flyers. Okay, sure, but why? We'll take part in an event next week, and we're going to hand out some flyers. We've made copies at Indira's dad's office. Ariel handed me a bunch of papers. One sheet should be cut into 4 pieces, and the white edges taken off. An easy but boring task. We all got going, working in silence. After a while, Indira spoke. Do you know how Ariel and I met? I have no idea. Tell me. Ariel was a runaway and met someone from the commune I was staying at when she was drunk in the streets. She got adopted by our crew, so to speak. Yeah, I was very lucky. Why did you run away? Long story, the short version is that my dad disappeared, my mom was bipolar, and had a hard time taking care of me. I eventually came to the conclusion I'd do better on my own. The period right before that was the darkest in my entire life. Same. Indira turned to me. Ariel saved me. But I saved her too. Then Indira's phone rang and she gave it a glance. Just gonna take this quickly. She rose and stepped into the bedroom where she spoke in a low voice. Ariel turned her face to me. Did you know that before we met, Indira was an elite wrestler? A wrestler? That's pretty cool. It is. I wish I could have seen her compete. I nodded. I wanted that too. Indira came back and put the phone on the table. It was someone we work with. Where were we? We were talking about us saving each other. Yeah, right. It made me think about something. She didn't return to her seat. Instead, she sat down next to me on the sofa. Last time you were here, the power went out. You didn't like it, did you? I shook my head. Why are you afraid of the dark? You can't just ask people why they're afraid of the dark. It's not the dark that scares me, it's the outages themselves. They give me a bad feeling. Why? Our house back where I'm from, it sits on a slope and beneath it is the ocean. As a child, I used to think that the shore would cave in and the house would crash into the sea. The outages always came during storms, and then my voice faltered. Indira took my hand. We're here. How could she help, though? What I'd been scared of back then was becoming real now. Then she inched closer. She leaned in and whispered into my ear. Let us take care of you. Ruppel! Oh my gosh! How about that? I didn't know what to say, so I nodded. Her eyes took on a new shimmer. My next question is, can I kiss you? Indira. Oh! Go ahead. She put her arm around my neck and drew my face even closer. Her lips weren't forceful at all. Instead, they were soft, but with a clearly tangible confidence. I wonder how many people you've wrapped around your little finger. Apparently, I was the one next in line. I closed my eyes and gave in. I sensed Ariel's gaze on my skin, hot as the sun at noon. As we let go, Indira gave me a big smile and stood up. Why don't you and Ariel kiss too? Okay. I stood up and turned to her. Before I leaned in, I saw her smile and it made me think she was waiting for this moment. Our lips met and we kissed. It was neither a shallow nor a deep kiss. Her lips were soft. Although I'd want this to happen, it surely didn't happen the way I envisioned it. But whatever. We deepened the kiss further. I couldn't always be in control. This time, I should let it happen. After a while, we came back to reality and Indira watched us with a smile on her face. Coral. Nina rizzes. Hot. Now, where were we? Cutting flyers, about 1900 left. This was gonna be a long night, but I didn't mind. A tingling electric feeling spread through my body. They had taken me in, hadn't they? Sunday. We're winning. I had a slow morning at home, thinking back on what had happened this weekend. I got to know a little more about Indira, and then we had some fun. There were other things on my mind, like the meeting with Yoon's professor. When Yoon had sent me those messages to begin with, I hadn't understood much. I'd hardly managed to read them. Now I took the bunch of papers out and started reading. I have to tell you something. There's this person, let's call them P. Every time they walk into the room, I feel like an angel entered. Isn't that stupid? But I assure you they have a glow, an aura, a radiance that I'm sure you would feel hot to the touch. Don't tell anyone. I stopped reading. Seriously, who would I have told and why? Monday. This is a cult, isn't it? I mean, I'm okay with joining their cult. I had been sleeping soundly for once. I actually felt ready to start a new week. As per usual, there were some new assignments. I had also gotten the weekly feedback from TrueNet. And now it was time to choose the task for today. Baby shower. From Maxine. Maxine is 30 and a shop manager, looking for a 20 to 40-year-old female. Play my cousin at a baby shower to find out what my old friends think of me. Ooh, the tea. I'm Maxine, and my old friend has invited me to her baby shower, but I think some of my friends are talking behind my back. Absolutely not, we will shut that down. Can you help me find out what they're saying by playing my cousin from the countryside? Let's do it. What else do we have? Performance review for our third week. Your rating is high, which is wonderful, but your client rating is lower than last week. Don't worry, if you just make sure to satisfy each and every customer need in the upcoming week, I'm sure you'll get far. Okay, we'll do that. Go to the baby shower. Today I would attend a baby shower. That would be a first for me. Hey there. Maxine and I had decided to meet up and walk together to the event, and on the way she gave me a little more context. Context! Wouldn't that be great if we got context before going into these situations? Thank you, Maxine. Her situation was somewhat similar to Linda's. She felt her old friends had moved past her, getting partners and children. She'd lost the closeness with most of them, and especially the one who used to be her best friend, Renee. The woman who would be today's center of attention. Now, Maxine even suspected her old friends to talk behind her back. That's why she wanted me to find out what others had to say about her. I'm feeling a little anxious, actually. She wasn't alone. It's human. It's human to feel anxious in such a situation. She nodded. I suppose it is. A woman in her 30s opened the door. She had rosy cheeks and was heavily pregnant. She and Maxine hugged. Then Maxine took a step back and looked her friend over from head to toe. "How are you? You look amazing." She was speaking in an upturned voice, completely different from before. Was she freaking out a little? "I'm fine, although very ready to meet this little bastard face to face." She gave her belly an encouraging pat. Maxine nodded and turned to me. "This is Lana, my cousin, whom I told you about. I brought her here with me since she's here to visit." "Welcome, I'm thrilled to meet you. Let's talk more later. First, come say hi to the others." We went into the living room and Maxine put her present on the table, jam-packed with gifts. Next to it was a huge cake in all the colors of the rainbow. Nice, then maybe we won't focus too much on gender. The room was crowded and I glanced over the sofa, my eyes got caught, and my heart almost lunged out of my chest. Why? In the center of the room, Bella sat next to Felicity. "Hi everyone, meet my cousin Lana." Oh shit. Smile and wave. Just smile and wave. Maxine's voice echoed through my head and I waved, showing the brightest smile I could muster. I hardly dared to look at Bella and Felicity, but felt like they both gave me curious looks. They didn't say anything. Thankfully, another woman stood up. She was the hostess for the party, and it was time to get active. Just in the nick of time, huh? Smallest city ever! Deny. Oof. After playing games, listening to speeches, having drinks, eating cake, and enduring a never-ending gift unwrapping session, the guests started mingling. I decided to speak to Renee. Since I wasn't alone in thinking that, I had to wait until she became free. Meanwhile, I tried not to think about or even take notice of Bella and Felicity. When I came first in line, Renee looked eager to talk to me. "Maxine told me a few days ago that you had met on a summer course by coincidence and then understood that you were related, and that you hadn't seen each other since childhood. What a story! I'm so happy for you both." "How long have you known Maxine?" "Very long. We met in middle school and became best friends." A hint of sadness colored her face. "We used to be closer before, though." "What happened?" I suppose we grew apart, and then maybe I had a feeling that Maxine wanted us to be, best friends forever, and I wanted to be able to have more than one friend. "So you started avoiding her?" "No, I didn't." Then she fell quiet. Or maybe I did, actually. I became silent too. Having conversations about differing wants and needs wasn't easy, and the closer you were to someone, the harder it got. At times it would seem easier to distance yourself, but then you might lose a relationship that could have become better by communicating. I couldn't stop the wave that already emerged, growing so fast it completely engulfed me. If I would have chosen to communicate instead of distancing myself, would things have been different? I would never know. Then Renee caught my gaze. I should go talk to her about it. I still wasn't able to speak, but I nodded. That's what I should have done too. I stood there for a while. I started moving again. Then someone came up to me. Seems like I couldn't avoid it any longer. "Kelly, I need to ask you, why are you here?" So she had recognized me. Of course she recognized you, Rin. My gosh. You've been in 3 different scenarios with Bella. I'm starting to feel like you're following me, or Emerald, or my dad, or someone else close to us. I can explain. I went with the first thing that crossed my mind, but it's a little embarrassing. What is? I caught her gaze. I've been looking for ways to get to meet with you. Why? Why was this what you went with? Her eyes widened. With me? Yeah, after Midsummer's, I couldn't stop thinking about you. Rin! After we made out with her mom? Okay. Oh my, you know I have a boyfriend, right? Yeah, I knew that. I nodded. I am a little flattered, but I hope you understand that this method for getting close to me, it doesn't work. No, I understand that. I'm sorry for bothering you. Rin. Messy. Oh yeah, we did kiss her friend too. We kissed her mom and her friend. Well, Bryn, you could have said anything. Anything else. It's okay. She gave me an awkward wave as I left and went to look for Maxine. When I found her, I took her to the side. Is it okay for me to leave now? You want to go? No worries, I'll manage on my own from here. She had a smile on her face. This time it seemed more genuine. Maybe she and Renee had been able to start a conversation. I hoped so, because if she was happy, then I'd done my job. 5 out of 5. Oh, that was wild. Tuesday. I woke in a daze and picked my phone up. I felt empty. My first baby shower had been quite an interesting experience. I hadn't expected to meet Bella and Felicity there. I hoped there wouldn't be any unwanted consequences. I needed to get on with the day. Let's choose. We only have one option. Oh, my monthly review. You've shone a light on us with your presence for almost 1 full month, which means it's time for the monthly review. Let's meet in the office on Monday. Ooh, not the review. Okay, let's meet with Carmichael, who needs us to get into somebody's social circle for journalism. I knew nearly nothing about this new assignment. All I knew was that I was supposed to meet someone called Carmichael and get more info. We'd agreed to meet in the park. As I came closer to our meeting point, I saw someone move toward me. Hello there. Hi, are you Carmichael? Sure am. Let's take a walk and talk. We started strolling along the road. I contacted the company since I need help with something. Most people do, I thought to myself. I need to obtain some information about a person, but I can't get it myself, so I need someone to do it for me. Back up. He's very close to us. Okay. I started to get used to the range of tasks this job would expose me to. The person I'd like you to talk to is the owner of an art gallery. Her name is Linda. No! Why does everyone know everyone? Linda? I knew someone like that. What's the name of the gallery? It's called Prosper. Alright, so it was the Linda I knew. What do you want me to ask her? There's an exhibition at the gallery right now with an artist called Benji. He's pretty controversial. In what way? His art can often breaks taboos and challenges religious doctrines, and that makes some people irritated. But no one knows who he really is. You want to know who he is? I would want that, yes. Alright, I'll contact Linda and see what I can do. You can say that you're a journalist from the magazine The Artful Society. You can read more on their website and refer to the editor, Mayo. I know them. Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. I wasn't sure I should tell her I was a journalist since she had heard me saying I was doing my PhD. And, well, she knew I did these kinds of assignments, so she might not be fully inclined to believe anything I said. I didn't have to tell Carmichael that, though. As Carmichael hurried off, I picked up my phone and texted Sylvester to ask him for Linda's number. Because this time, I couldn't text her through the TrueNet app. When I got the number, I texted Linda and asked if she was at the gallery, and she replied instantly saying I could come over. A few moments later, I was on my way. There was no one else at the gallery. Did you want to watch the exhibition? Yeah, I'm pretty curious about this fellow. You're not alone, that's for sure. Is he doing any public appearances? She scoffed. Not anytime soon. It's too dangerous. Why is it dangerous? You don't know? He's on the death list for several terror organizations. Should he appear in public, there is a huge risk of him being terminated. The cancel of all cancels, so to speak. Death is the cancel of all cancels. How did you get in contact with him? A messaging app. He has an assistant that does the communication. Who's that? Nosy, are we? I'm bound by contract not to say. I see. Her eyes took on a suspicious glint. Why are you asking about him? I'm just curious. Since he seems so hard to get in touch with. She scrutinized my face as if looking for something. What are you up to? Are you hired by someone? Oh, I seem to be dangerously close to what was called being exposed as an actor in the company code of conduct. But that was partly because she already knew. I shook my head. Her face softened. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can tell you more than what you can find online. I hadn't gotten much out of this, but I'd done my best. As I left the gallery, I reported back to Carmichael. He thanked me for the information and said he might contact me again. To this, I replied that in order to do so, he needed to give me a new assignment. I for sure wouldn't do this without getting paid. Carmichael gave us a 2. Oh no. Girl, what'd he do? 2. A 2? Maybe I could have maybe picked something different and not have been weird about it. I woke up with a headache. Meeting Linda again had been interesting to say the least. Now I had to wait and see if Carmichael would contact me again. Ariel and Indira had suggested to meet at their place. I wondered what they were up to. Apart from everything that had to do with my assignments, I also had other things I wanted to do, like meeting with Yoon's friend. What should I do? Meet Yoon's friend. I think I want to do that. Carmichael. Speak to an ex-politician to gather information. I need you to play a journalist to ask an ex-politician some questions. Find out as much as you can about her past and ask about her connection to the artist Benji. Report the results back to me. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go and look into Yoon's friend, kind of dive into my backstory. Today I decided to continue my investigation. On the note Professor Liu had given me was Vanessa's name and email address. When I'd written to her, I'd gotten an invitation to come by the dorm. Vanessa told me she was in the process of moving out, but would still be there until the end of the week. The dorms were very close to the university, and I rode the same bus to get there. At the dorm. Some spy work. We're gonna have to do... I mean, this is spy work. Carmichael's spy work. I mean, Ariel and Indira, that's just throuple work, but that's fine. That's something else. A girl with a happy face opened the door. Ta-da! Welcome to my place! The room contained a bunk bed and a study desk, but Vanessa seemed to be alone in here. My roommate has already left. I nodded. Was that what Yoon's room had been like too? I sat down on the chair and Vanessa on the bed. You had some questions? I nodded. What was your impression of Yoon? You mean as a person? One of the kindest people I've ever met. How did you get to know each other? We happened to sit next to each other on the first day. I guess you're a little extra open at the beginning of something new. We started talking and then we kept going. So you knew a lot about him. She smirked. What is it that you want to know? Who was P? Yoon used to write me messages every day and he talked about someone called P. Do you know who that was? Her smile widened. I do, actually, but I don't want to go into detail about him. You should speak to him yourself. Then she told me where I could find a person called Pao, who was someone important to Yoon. I want to add one thing. I've never seen anyone be so foolishly, blatantly in love as Yoon was with Pao, just so you know. That infatuation reached far above the level of stupidity. Then she seemed to think of something. Actually, I've got something that's Yoon's. She turned around and got a sweater from a hanger. It was in his usual style, brightly colored, loved and worn. I think you should have it. Without being able to speak, I took it and put it around my shoulders. Our meeting was over in 10 minutes. She didn't seem to want to bond with me, and it felt pretty good. I appreciated meeting someone who knew him, who loved and cared for him. The same moment I thought that a shred of jealousy went through my body, shattered into particles, and spread through my veins. I couldn't get over that there were others who knew more about him than I did. How did it end up that way? The worst day. The week was approaching its end. It felt quite good to have been able to talk to someone who was close to Yoon, even though it also made me feel bad. I hadn't been close enough to him for him to tell me those things. If only... No, I shouldn't go there. I also had other things to do. You think the thruple is a hit squad? This tiny village's squabbles all seem to interlink. Maybe they're after the artist. That would make sense. Let's go ask them. Do you know Benji? I was on my way to Ariel's and Indira's place. Probably we'd meet there to be able to talk more freely. I still had my doubts whether I'd done the right thing in progressing this, but now it was happening anyway. I didn't know much about what would happen tonight, but I was sure I'd get the info I needed going forward. They seemed to be pretty accomplished when it came to planning things. It was Indira who opened the door. It felt a little weird standing face to face with her after everything that had happened between the three of us last time. I got a little surprised when she scooped me into her arms and gave me a tight hug. My heart started beating and my knees went weak. Vivid images from last time we'd met started playing in my mind. What's up? I let go of the embrace, trying my best to divert the attention. Indira gave me a wolf's grin. Not much. Yet. I could sense her exhilaration and sort of got it. This might give her a kick. Maybe that was one of her reasons to do it. I had already understood we weren't very similar, and now I'd confirmed it even further. Ariel was sitting in the sofa. She looked up and smiled widely. You're here. I am. Cool, have a seat. Let's chat for a bit. We'll wait until dark before we go ahead. I nodded. As I said before, tonight is mainly about doing research. We'll all go in the same car. When we arrive to our destination, me and Indira will go out and check some things, and you'll stay in the car. Then you'll drive us back. And that's it. That seems easy. Hopefully. We passed the time by playing cards. I kept losing. Seems I'm rather unlucky in games. I suppose you're lucky in love, then. It felt as if Ariel was watching me, but I didn't look back at her. I tend to suck at both. Then there has to be something else in store for you. Something big. I smiled at her. She was probably just running her mouth. Have you made a plan for me? Not yet. Do you want me to do it? Not yet. No matter what, it's time to get going. My heart sped up a little. So this was it. If I followed them to the car now, it would be too late to back out. We stood up and Indira took the lead. This time of the year, it only went dark for a few hours every night. I didn't know how far we would go or how long it would take. Would we stay up until morning? The van was parked on a side street a little ways from their flat. Since I was prepared this time, I didn't get intimidated by the rusty old scrap heap. As we approached it, Indira threw over the key and I caught it midair. Navigation is in your hands. Much obliged. I won't disappoint you. Ariel had been quiet for some time. I glanced her way, but she didn't look back. She seemed lost in thoughts. Even though there were room for 3 people in the front, Ariel opened the door to the back. Indira jumped in next to me. Okay. We had gone out of the city and driven for about 20 minutes when we approached the well-off suburbs. The surroundings felt vaguely familiar, but I suppose that kind of area was always sort of the same. Then we passed by a gate I surely recognized. Oh no. Oh no! I'm home from work and have made myself a martini. Ooh, yay, Jen. How are you liking the game? It is so dramatic and chaotic. I love it. Is this where you're going? Yep. Here's where we'll do our research. You feel at home in the area? What will you do here? You might get to know eventually. Right now, all you need to do is find us a place to park that car. We found a secluded spot and I turned the engine off. Ariel gave me a glance. We'll be back soon. Be good. It felt like I waited for them forever. But probably it took less than half an hour until the doors opened again. Did you get to do the research? They ignored my questions, seeming to be deep in conversation. So if we can find another way to get to her, it might be better. I think so. What's the deal here? Ariel threw a bright smile at me. Didn't we say you'd get to know eventually? What's the rush? Now let's head back. Friday. Land-based 7 streak. The romance stream. This is a very dramatic romance. I sense some drama about to happen. Might be. And Blackstone, welcome to the stream. How are ya? Smallest social circle ever. I had woken up quite late, finally getting some more hours of sleep. The fact that we had gone to Emerald's house almost felt unreal, and I still had no idea what their plans were. I should decide what to do today. We only have Carmichael. Fine. Once again, I'd meet with Carmichael in the park. There weren't many people there this time of the day, only a few joggers on physical duty. He came walking along the gravel path, looking like he didn't have a worry in the world. Hi there, thanks for your effort the other day. Thanks for giving me 2 stars. Was it of any help? He smiled. The person I'd like you to talk to is a former politician. Her name is Sveta? How does everyone know everyone? My baby mama. Sveta? What the actual fuck? Do you have a picture of her? Oh, come on. Carmichael nodded and picked up his phone. What would you like to know? Oh, sorry, let me ask that. Well, when he held it up to me, I knew it was her. She's building an interest organization, but also a business around rights and access to natural services. Natural services? Yeah, that has been her thing for quite some time. She used to be part of a political movement that got some recognition a few years back. Their agenda was to put economical value on a lot of natural services, like pollination, water purification, and so on. Okay. They believed it would be the only way forward when it comes to environmental issues, wanting to commodify nature, so to speak. Space! Rin, I'm so sorry! It's like the Nancy universe. Everyone knows everyone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My gosh. I felt Carmichael's gaze on me. If natural services had an economic value, would my parents get reimbursed if nature did them a disservice? So they wanted to make the world even more capitalist. That's one way to see it, but maybe it's better to ask her directly about those things. Alright, but I need to prepare myself more before seeing her. If you could send me some information about her, I'll get back when I've had the chance to talk to her. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's my job, I thought to myself, but didn't say. Did he think I enjoyed this? Oh, Rin's Day. Oh, thank goodness we have a day off. What a week it had been. Understatement of the year. I felt restless and itchy. I didn't want to spend the day alone. Ariel wanted to hang out in the park, but Indira had also texted me and said that she was in the mood for cooking and that I should come over to their place and eat. And Sylvester had suggested— Sylvester, get out of my DMs! Sylvester had suggested to do something outside since the weather was nice. This poor man keeps trying. Should I meet with Ariel alone? Because Ariel was really weird that last time. Ariel's been distant. I think we should meet with her alone. See what's up with that. I hadn't expected Ariel to invite me over. I thought that she'd keep me hanging for a longer time. How should I see this occasion? See it as a date? No, I want to just make sure she's okay. See it as a way to get to know her. Since I didn't know, I planned to see it as a way to get to know her better. All ready to go. I got another message. I'm with a friend at their community garden. Would you come there instead? So I wasn't going to her place after all? What? And someone else was going to join us? I tried to shake the disappointment and figure out where to go instead. As I rode the bus, yet another message came. My friend's leaving now, so I'll meet you at the bus stop. All right. Then it would be us only, just the two of us? I swallowed. Soon I'd get to see her. Hey there. We met close to the park. Hi. Can I give you a hug? Sure. She stood on her toes and we hugged. Was it only me, or did she keep the embrace a little longer than expected? I hoped she didn't notice my furious heartbeat. Then she let go and smiled. What would you like to do? I don't know. She started to look amused. Okay then, I know something. She started running lightly and I hurried after. We came to the same playground where I'd played with Iris the other day. We sat down on a swing each and got going. I don't know why you're supposed to stop playing when you grow up. No, that's stupid. Did I play that much when I was a child though? Never mind. Ariel slowed down and started to rummage around in her tote bag. Then she pulled up a little bottle which she opened with her teeth. She handed it to me. Adults usually need drugs to get playful. I brought this if we need it. Okay. I slowed the pace, took the bottle and smelled it. It seemed like some kind of liquor. Even the tiniest sip revealed a strong and spicy taste, probably better suited to a winter's day. That amount won't get you anywhere. I smiled and had a little more, then gave her the bottle back. She had a big gulp. Maybe she was a little nervous, even though she came off as assertive. If she hadn't eaten, she might get wasted quickly. I stopped the pace. Let's go get something to eat, huh? We strolled along the lane leading between the park and the city. Some food trucks were lined up and we checked them out one by one. It's crazily expensive. We should go to a supermarket and steal something. Ariel. Uh-oh. I recently got a job, so I'll pay. We don't need to steal. Just klepto things. I recently got a job, so I'll pay. Okay, thanks. Then let's take this one. She pointed toward a food truck selling vegan food. We ordered, got it, and turned back toward the park. We should have brought a blanket. It's okay. We sat down on the grass, eating in silence, watching people around us having picnics, children, and dogs playing. That's life. It seems so far away, doesn't it? What do you mean? Having a joyful picnic with your family? Oh, I thought we were having one right now. She seemed to be thinking of something far away or long ago, looking out in the distance. Then she resurfaced, turning to me. I'm so tired. Don't you get enough sleep? Probably not. Sleeping is a waste of time. Then I understand if you're tired. You can lean against me. Sleep if you want to. Ariel nodded. She put her head on my shoulder, closing her eyes. Somehow she managed to relax. The sun sank beneath the trees. The air got chillier. I started to get a backache, but I didn't want to move if it would wake her up. Was she really sleeping? Then Ariel lifted her face and looked me in the eye. Her face was dead serious. Should we smooch? My heart spat out beats in an increasing speed. Like a multi-arrow bow in a computer game. Kiss her. She closed her eyes and I leaned forward. Her lips were cool and a little dry. Soon, they got soft and moist. I forgot about everything. Only our lips remained, our tongues trying each other out. After a while, she let go. She gave me a little smile. Thank you. We started walking again. Then she came to my bus stop. Ariel kept me company while waiting. Maybe next time you'd like to come to my place? So I would get another chance to go there? As you might have understood, I live with Indira. I suspected that. Are the two of you? Yeah, but she says she's okay with us seeing each other. We made out in front of each other. What? Does no one remember this? Soft and moist, didn't like that description. But are you okay with it? I guess I have to be. Good question. I could try. Ariel lightened up a little. Would you? Since I hadn't tried it, I didn't know how it would work, but I wanted to keep seeing her. I wasn't feeling jealous, it was rather a worry that things would get complicated, and I didn't like that. I hadn't planned to get involved with anyone at all. But here we were now. My thoughts got interrupted by Ariel's smile. Being with you makes me happy, you know? Sunday. I was idling at my place in a state of exhaustion, thinking back about what had happened. Ariel had sure been a handful, but I'd enjoyed having a picnic with her, and then we'd kissed. My heart started beating when thinking about it. Not entirely sure how this would end up, but it was at least interesting. Then other things surfaced in my mind. I couldn't help thinking about what Vanessa had said, that Yoon had been foolishly in love. Had he felt the same way as I did right now? Well, I did have some clues in his messages. I started reading the last ones he'd sent. This is the best and worst I've ever felt. It's like I have every emotion simultaneously, like experiencing an amazing firework and a nightmare at the same time. Having found something that I cherish so much makes me terrified to lose it. It almost makes me want to end it myself to keep in control. Have you ever felt that way? The message was written in the middle of the night, but had reached me when I came to work and had access to the internet. I had completely misunderstood it. I thought he was referring to being able to move away and get an education, the thing I'd wanted the most. I'd gotten extremely annoyed and I never replied. Ooh, a new week. It was a new week, but today I would do something very different. It was time for the monthly review with Hattori, and for me, it would be the first time. I didn't know how to feel about it. The weekly feedback had arrived as per usual, and it would be quite different to speak to someone about it face to face. What could I do other than get dressed and be on my way? The Truer Than You office. This better be a glowing review. It had been weeks since I last visited the premises, but it looked the same, shiny and desolated. Hattori came to greet me. Rin, finally! I've been waiting to have you all to myself. Well, we sat down with our coffees. First, let me ask you, since it's been a month, how do you feel about work? I love it. I get to meet so many interesting people. Really? It pays well, too. Warms my heart to hear. Now to the real talk. You have gone above and beyond. Of course, there's always room for improvement. You're ranking mid-tier, so I'm expecting you to put in some extra effort next month. I'm sure you have it in you. Just be attentive and you'll make it to the top. All right. That's actually everything we had on the agenda from our part. Any questions or thoughts? Where's your responsibility when it comes to bad things that happen in connection with assignments? What are you referring to? I mean, that's part of this line of work, isn't it? Nothing specific, but some people might take the chance to use the service for shady things. Do you have proof that such a thing has happened? Not quite, but... And in the end, isn't it up to you to decide how to handle things? We are only providing opportunities. So he'd put the blame on us workers? I couldn't say it surprised me, but it still made me disappointed. I didn't know how to respond. And it didn't seem to matter that much. See you next month, then. Perfect! By the way, since you're smart, you're probably aware, so I'll come out and say it straight out. This won't last forever. I'm already working on a concept to make real people completely redundant in these kinds of tasks. Isn't that wonderful? Great. It will save both money and trouble. Humans are so unreliable, don't you think? Well, not you, of course. You're amazing. Boo. How much longer do you think I'm gonna be employed? Like, just estimate? Coming back to my place, things almost felt unreal. Had I been to the Truer Than You office? Did we have that conversation? I was so exhausted that I fell asleep on the couch. Minutes later, I woke up with a start. It felt like I was missing something, forgetting something that was a matter of life and death. Something... I had to read his message again, the last one he sent. My heart was beating and my hands trembling as I picked the paper up. Having found something that I cherished so much makes me terrified to lose it. It almost makes me want to end it myself to keep in control. Have you ever felt that way? I put the paper down. Yuna had been so much in love, and he'd been afraid, and contrary to how I had felt after talking to Vanessa, I was one of the few people he could tell. But I hadn't been listening. An emotion threw itself over me with such force that I couldn't resist it for a second. I absolutely did not want things to end for me as they'd done for him. I needed to meet the one he had been writing about. This couldn't wait, not even a minute. I rose up and left the apartment. The address I'd been given led to a part of the city with worn apartment houses. A lady on the ground floor told me there was someone called Pao living on the 7th floor. My heart started hammering as I walked up the stairs. The staircase smelled of fish broth and old prawn shells. As I knocked the door, I almost started feeling sick. I heard footsteps and someone opened the door. The guy seemed very young and was probably in his 20s. His eyes went wide when he saw me. Do I look like someone you know? Pao's bewilderment transformed into a melancholic smile. At first, but there are differences. We're fraternal twins, but still kinda similar. They're twins? He nodded. Nice to meet you. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was taken aback, but I've been wanting to meet you for a long time. Come in. We stepped inside. The room was very small and crammed, and everything in it felt slightly damp. I thought about contacting you so many times, but I didn't know how. Now I'm here. Good, I'm happy. Then he turned to the stove and started making tea. I sat down on a stool by a very small table. Watching his back, I felt like I didn't want to beat around the bush. How did the two of you meet? It's a little embarrassing. I imagined them having hooked up at a club or through an app, but didn't everyone do that? He came to a table and poured us each a cup of tea. I work as a cleaner at the university. I mainly do my chores in the evening. Yoon used to stay late to work on projects, and for some reason, since we met over and over, we started talking. He was so pretty that my tongue stuck to my gums every time he addressed me. Eventually, after quite some time flirting and deliberating, and during which a lot of stuff happened, we came to a point. It just became settled. Do you know why he didn't tell me? Pow shook his head. He talked a lot about you. How you had these, like, high standards. Maybe he thought you wouldn't be able to keep it from your parents. Would that be such a bad thing? Pow gave out a dry laugh. That reaction might be why he didn't tell you, you know. They'd worked all their lives to send him to university. I did too. I know you did. Yoon was well aware of that too, make no mistake. He felt like an asshole in regards to you, and I don't think he could ever put that into words. Yoon wore on his shoulders to be successful. I would think he wanted to do that to the fullest, giving them a grandchild and so on. That wouldn't be impossible. Not impossible, but harder. And look at me, I'm a cleaner who spends most of his salary back home every month. Not the best bet for the future. He didn't want your parents to experience more hardships. Instead, he intended to live up to what they wanted him to be. Suddenly, I felt like a complete jerk. I'd been acting like a spoiled brat, demanding to be accepted for whatever whim that came to my mind. On the other hand, No, I didn't want to think about that right now. Pow looked as if he had something to say, but was deliberating on whether to bring it up. The worst thing is that we had an argument that night. What happened? Pow seemed like he had a hard time coming up with words. I had said some things I shouldn't have. Like what? Since he'd been so anxious about everything, I told him I couldn't stand his uncertainty and that it'd be better to break up so that he didn't have to think about it any longer, because there didn't seem to be a future for us, and that's when he ran off. He must feel so bad about it. Can I give you a hug? He nodded and I put my arms around him. Somehow I got a sensation that I came closer to Yoon. This was the closest I could get to him at this point. Pow's heart beat rapidly, all while his breathing was slow. He swallowed hard. I just wish I hadn't said that. What happened is not your fault. Oh. Sad dance. Obscurity, how are you doing? And all you raiders? We're in the middle of some trauma right now, but welcome. I hope your stream was good. I could have gone after him and told him that it was all a stupid mistake, that I didn't want to break us up at all. I was just angry. Why did I let him go? The tears. Because you loved him and wanted to give him space. Pow shook his head. What I can't get over is that his voice cracked and the tears spilled over. I never got to tell him that I loved him a last time. He died all alone not knowing that. I had a hard time listening to those words, but I felt I had to. Instead of backing off, I tightened my embrace and felt the fabric of my t-shirt go wet as he cried against my shoulder. After a long silence, he talked again in a lower voice, almost a whisper. I wish it never would have happened. That was such an understatement, but somehow also the only thing that could be said. Yeah, so do I. I came out in a daze. I didn't notice the seafood smell, the sounds from the apartment, or the street. The light outside was too bright. How could Yoon have met his greatest love without us ever knowing? And how could we all then have lost him? I wanted to cry so badly, but it was as if I had a layer of cotton bolstered around me and neither did anything get in nor anything get out. Was I doomed to go through all of this without even getting to cry? I didn't know. But somehow I at least got home. Later that evening, I couldn't relax. Instead, I walked around in circles both in my mind and in the apartment. Wasn't love supposed to be the answer? Yoon had loved someone and it didn't help. Why did we have to go through this? And why? The worst thing is that we had an argument that night. The last thing Pow had told Yoon were harsh words. I had to close my eyes. That day. Welp. Sorry, good little break spot here. Obscurity, I hope you had a good stream. What did you guys do? What did you guys play? Sorry you came in like such a, dramatic, emotional moment in our story. So we're going back to the day, the beginning of the game when we were arguing, I'm assuming? It was his last day before going back to the city. Right before he was to leave for the boat, he caught me in the kitchen. Hey, Soon. Yeah? I wanted to ask you, will you come see me this semester? He bugged me the whole year to come. You know we can't afford it. Not as it stands right now. He gave me a questioning look. Is that the only reason? Stop nagging. He looked at me with a mixture of disappointment and teasing. Sometimes I have a feeling that you're avoiding me. When do I do that? When you're not answering my messages? I'm working a lot. I don't have time to respond to everything you keep sending me. But I want you to. Ever since I came home, I feel like you're slipping away. The emotion that arose within me was one I wanted to shake off. I have things I want to talk to you about. Yeah, but it's not like you don't have the time. I've lived here too. Even if you do work a lot, there's not much other than that happening, is there? So there must be something else. No, that's it. I'm just busy. I see. But you know, I'm not used to being without you. Seriously, you should hear yourself. The only thing you could think of is yourself. Could you, for once, try to see things my way? His face shifted at my words. For once? You don't think I've kept you front and center up until now? I'm trying to tell you that I need you to see me. If you cared, you'd know I have problems too. Problems? I'd love to have your problems. Really? The stare he gave me made me want to cut everything off. It must be hard to have everything. Have you ever thought about what it's like to have nothing? His look shifted between surprise, anger, and dejection. So that's how you really feel. He went up the stairs to get his bag and left without a word. Within less than 48 hours, he was gone, and I was left alone. The conversation with Power replayed in my mind. What if it wasn't an accident? What if he did throw himself into the waves deliberately? Everyone was telling me it was an accident. I was also repeating the same thing. We'd needed to hold on to that thought. But what if it wasn't? What if that's what he meant to do? I tried so hard to find the answers, but now I knew for sure I'd never know. I would never know. The tears I'd been holding back started pouring down my cheeks. How could life be that unfair? Weren't you supposed to find the truth if you searched hard enough? Didn't I do everything? Ooh. Oh no, Yoon is the hot twin. This is sad. Come on. Back from taking a long nap, I feel like I missed a lot. It's been, every second has been something new. I feel like we went for like a really sharp turn into sad. I don't think I like this anymore. The morning after, I woke up from the light coming in through the small window. Things felt vaguely unreal. But this was it, my current reality. The traces of having cried hard for hours were still lingering in my body. I had a feeling of having come to an end. 5 weeks ago, I arrived in the city. I didn't know if I wanted to escape from my life back at home, or if the real reason was that I'd wanted to know more about Yoon. Whatever it was, I was done with it now. I should start thinking about what I wanted to do going forward. I wasn't in a hurry yet. I could continue working until I knew how I wanted to proceed, or I could go back to the island. Maybe I could revisit what I'd once dreamt of doing. No matter how confusing life was and how mournful I was about what had happened to Yoon, I still had a feeling I needed to start living again. And this time, as the one in charge of my life. I didn't need to pretend to be someone else. Going forward, I could just be me. A breathtaking outlook for sure. Maybe I was ready for it now. My heart! Ripped out of my chest.
New reality or just a dream? Killing time at home.
That's the end? Yeah, at the beginning of the game it said you'd have to play multiple playthroughs to get the full picture. So I'm absolutely playing again. Oh. I know, but... Bro, there? That was abrupt. It felt kind of abrupt. Let's like rip your heart out. The end. We love you. Do you? My heart is ripped away from my body.